Child, because one thing Carlos self-proclaimed king gonna do is either find himself in the middle of some family drama or the middle of some mess on the blogs.
Let's talk about it.
Shawty, come and swing my way. We ain't gotta waste no time now, baby. Put that all in my face. I just wanna bump and grind on you, on you, on you. Want you on my face, so shawty, come and swing my way.
I want people to have fun. Let's kick back. Let's get into a little tea. Let's not get too crazy, but let's enjoy the sip.
Clock that tea.
But let's get to the chi-chi, the kiki, the internet bull.
You want to know what this week's energy is giving? Wake the fuck up. This is the week where your karmic situations start collapsing, not because you're cursed, but because spirit is tired of you ignoring the signs. Now, whether you're in a twin flame delusion, stuck on a soul tie that's expired, or replaying the same heartbreak mixtape with a different fuckboy, then this message is for you. And if you feel dragged, then good. Because some of y'all been sleepwalking in circles calling it love. When you're not in love, you're in a loop. And spirit keeps saying, listen, the only thing divine about this connection is how clearly it's trying to teach you boundaries. Out here confusing trauma bonded with twin flames, confusing breadcrumbing with divine timing, confusing horniness and a few good conversations with your life partner. But let's call it what the fuck it is. They don't love you. They love your access. And they love that they can disappear for days and come back to you acting like that's alignment. Yeah, the connection might have been real, but the growth is optional. And clearly they're not opting in. It's a Ferris wheel of delusion. Same man, different name. Same wound, different face. Same pattern, new playlist in the motherfucking background. And don't get me wrong. Yes, some of y'all are entering divine union energy because some of y'all did actually do the work and not just talk about it. You cut the cords. You chose yourself. But the rest of y'all, you still texting back what you doing at 1 a.m. and thinking it's fate. So this week, the tower is crumbling, the illusion is shattering. And if you're still stuck, hoping the person who broke you is going to come back around and build with you, bitch, you are not ready for real love. You still addicted to chaos. Right now, the energy is simple. Big empress, big revelation, big release standing on big business. So if you need real clarity, book a love alignment reading with me on thealignedsouls.com. So we can figure out what the hell this connection really is. And if they're coming back for real or just more karmic confusion. Because if Beyonce could study her chart for $1 billion tour, then you sure as hell could study yours to get the hell out of this karmic prison. What is going on, y'all? It's Scott Santana, aka Chi. And baby, oh, I just realized my motherfucking bedroom windows is open. And how I live on the first floor. So I usually try to keep it closed because I don't need everybody all of my business. Okay, especially when we about to get into Chantel Christie's business and Jackie Christie's business. Oh my God. I hate the fact that Carlos is the one she sat down with. But I mean, who else? Because one thing Carlos self-proclaimed king gonna do is he gonna find himself in the middle of some mess. He gonna find a way to implant himself in the middle of whatever is trending that week. And I get it from a marketing perspective. I get it from a creator perspective. But like, bruh, are you a motherfucking content creator or are you a producer? Okay, because you so busy and everybody else mess. That's why your shows is failing. That's why ain't nobody featuring loving hip hop Huntsville no more. Like, girl, you all up in everybody else's mess. They on Twitter calling his ass Bravo Walters because that's exactly what it's given. Anything Housewives, he gonna be involved in. Now, anything Mona Scott Young, he gonna be involved in because he always gotta let us know. Oh, I was actually connected to the situation through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 degrees of separation. Girl, focus on your own shit. When the fuck Bell Collective coming back? Focus on that. Okay? Because I heard that they already done shot the season and the reunion. Focus on that. Okay? Over there. Oh, I do not like him at all. And then he's so male identified. He just love him a straight male. He love him a Martell. Girl. But this ain't about him. It's about Chantel. And it's a 2-hour interview. Don't ask me why. Because the interview really could have been 2 minutes. We already know that this hoe is a sociopath. And listen, what we're not going to do is we're not going to come here and protect Chantel. Shut the fuck up. Because a lot of y'all didn't watch the show. Y'all watched 2 clips on a goddamn TV. I'm sorry, 2 clips on a goddamn Instagram and think y'all know what the fuck y'all talking about. You don't. Shut up. Shut up. Take that ass over there somewhere else. Okay? Those of us that have watched the show, we already understand that Chantel was completely wrong. She's a motherfucking sociopath. And digging in your ass and trying to reach back to season 3, season 2, and bringing up Takari ain't helping shit either. Because Takari and Jackie are even on good terms right now. Like, cut it the fuck out, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get into this interview, but we're going to be truthful. We're going to be truthful. Something that Chantel is not going to be. Why we about to be here for 2 hours, I don't know. So we're going to try to speed it up, 1.5, 2.5, whatever. Because I'm not about to sit and watch a 2-hour interview for 2 hours. So we're going to speed it up. But go ahead and like the video so we can get into her.
For free, I cuss a lot. Bitch, I'm a queen, not like the thoughts. If you wanna be together, you gotta send that check down. You wanna be forever, you gotta send that check down. Gotta send a check on me, gotta send a rest on me. Hey, gotta move successfully. If you want the best of me, hey, gotta send a check on me, gotta send a rest on me. Hey, gotta move successfully. If you want the best of me, I like the.
And actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and bring it up now because ain't nobody else going to bring it up. But let's actually go back to...
Why waste your time?
Oh, girl, shut up. I cannot stand his voice. Why wait your time to... Girl. And then he always got that stupid ass look on his face. Reminded me of a damn Flintstone. Girl. Y'all going to know what I'm talking about. You going to see it. Let's see. Because I know ain't nobody else going to bring it up. But let's go back to... Let's go back to Jackie. Because there was a moment during... Oh, well, at least we know he monetized. There was a moment during Jackie's interview where... Because, you know, everybody was talking about Mount Rushmore at the time. So, Jackie brought up Chantel being on her Mount Rushmore. Let's see if we can go through the comments and see. Let's see. But basically, during this interview, Jackie basically said, you know, because I even remember an interview that she did with TGIF. Jackie was tired of being a villain, so she set back one season. Production and fans got mad. So then she felt like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm going to have to bring it again because without me, there's nothing going on. As we can see, that's what's happening now.
I feel like she understands me and I understand her. And we have a sisterhood. And her, even though she's divorced, her ex-husband.
I don't know with...
And it's dark, but I think she's a great reality entertainer. And I think if some of the stuff that she does, she wouldn't do, she would be fine. But I think some of it is a little bit dark, you know, making up the story, I'm a prostitute, that kind of stuff. She keeps saying that she got paperwork and this and that. And when I tried to say, it's not me, I would know if I was a prostitute, Carlos. And I would say, guess what? I'm a prostitute. Okay, who gonna check me, boo? I mean, in the young, in Cherie's, you know,
Sheree, yeah.
Who gonna check me? Who's gonna stop?
Okay, here we go right here. Because we not about to sit through all of this. So I actually found the clip. Because this is very important getting into Chantel's interview. Because mind you, this interview was done 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago.
It is Basketball Wives stars of all time. Who are those 4 ladies, Jackie Christie?
Oh my God. For me, it would have to be myself, Drea, Tammy, and not in that order, just all of us. And myself, Drea, Tammy. I mean, it's kind of like a toss-up. If I could have 5, it would be Chantel and Evelyn.
Now, notice she said Chantel. We got to bring this clip back up before we get into whatever the hell Chantel's talking about.
Okay. That's not about Mount Rushmore.
Even though me and Evelyn go head to head,
but you're fair.
You know what I mean?
You're
when
fair.
We're good, me and that bitch is good. But when we not, we not. And right now, I'm not gonna say if we are or not, but look, I have no anger towards anybody. And just to be fair, colors, I think everybody that's ever been on Basketball Wives have brought something different. It has been amazing. It's always hard when you got to narrow it down, but when you really look at the icons in your eyes and who you feel made a great impact in that is unforgettable. And
She
those
feels
moments,
that Chantel is one.
me and Drea with the little demon and all that we would go through, that love-hate thing. Even me and Shani, I've always told people, Shani is she doesn't even know how talented she is, but on top of that, she's so real when it comes to reality. It's raw. And it ain't just because she's my daughter, it's Shani. And she's just got the package. People will see. And then you got, Tammy.
Yeah, people will see, and we actually hate her, Jackie. Let me go ahead and slow that down for the people in the Rosa section.
She's so real when it comes to hate thing. Even me and Shani, I've always told people, Shani is she doesn't even know how talented she is. But on top of that, she's so real when it comes to reality TV. It's raw. And it ain't just because she's my daughter. It's Shanny, and she's just got the package. People will see.
Right. Let me go ahead and retweet that for the people in the back. Okay. Because this was what, May 6th. Okay. Chantel, Jackie be serious. Chad, you could go through the comments and see yourself, but like obviously we was all like, okay, nah, be for real. So now getting into this, let's see what the hell Chantel's talking about, because I've already stated in the past, I feel like Jackie was trying to set Chantel up for the next era of Basketball Wives, hence why her, Brittany, and Demon Denise, okay, Miss Estelita, Miss Selena, okay, whatever the hell you want to call her, Gloria Valdez, okay. The reason why they keep calling themselves the big three is because I don't know who lied to them and told them that, oh, Basketball Wives is about to usher in a new era and the Jackies and the Evelyns about to retire and y'all about to come in and take over. It's clear somebody told them that. Or maybe that's what Jackie felt, whatever. But I feel like Jackie put her on the Mount Rushmore ahead of time, hoping that this season would solidify her daughter to be able to, I guess, take her place. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Because it's not really clear to me, because some of the shit that we saw on the show, apparently in real life, it's not true. And I'm not even talking about Chantel with these bullshit ass allegations. I'm talking about Chantel acting like her mother didn't see, she hasn't spoken to her mother since Vegas. And it came out that like Chantel took her son to Jackie and they was around each other. I don't know. It's just a lot of bullshit and a lot of mystery. And I feel like this is a scheme that they both set up. I do. And I don't understand why Jackie would be allowing her to go in like this. But I also look at Jackie and Chantel's history. And like at the end of the day, Jackie is a pick-me. We're not going to keep drilling that point into the ground. Okay, listen, if you're new to my channel, you new to this video, bitch, I don't give a fuck. We're not going to listen. Go watch the other videos. I'm not going to keep saying the same shit over and over and over. We know that Jackie was a pick-me. We know that she... But what we not about to sit and do is act like Jackie was sitting here beating Chantel over her head. Because even in the finale, yes, the clips that was on the blogs that everybody saw was, okay, Jackie hitting Chantel after Chantel had pushed her first. But why they didn't show the other part of the clips? Okay, where Chantel chased her all around that hotel from upstairs to downstairs, trying to fight her. Like, Chantel had been doing that all season, provoking Jackie and trying to get a reaction out of her. So... miss me with the bullshit. And Chantel had even said on the finale, like, oh, you know, I knew my mother was capable, but she had never went there with me. Thus confirming Jackie never abused her like that. Thus confirming if there was any type of quote unquote abuse, it was more so neglect. Shit that we already knew though, that Jackie wasn't there and that the grandmother raised her. But like Chantel is sitting here lying. And so we going to try to get through this interview of her lying. Because it's all bullshit for TV. And I felt like a lie that got spun out of control, and now she having to double down on it.
Chantel, Christie, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Chantel,
I don't give a fuck about none of this.
for me, I did not seek you out.
Yes.
And I flew in town. I flew my producer. And I said, in order for me to have a conversation with her, I need to feel her. I need to be able to like look her face to face, eye in the eye. And I needed to, like I do all of my guests, I want to feel the energy from you. What I will say before I get started with the questioning, you are very likable right now.
I really am. That's why, man. Listen, you not just be there. Somebody got introduced to the world.
You're
like
very likable. Your spirit. I didn't know what I was going to get coming into this. I didn't know.
Carlos is such a fucking kiss ass, and this is why I don't like this nigga. I do not like him at all as a person. I don't. He's such a fucking kiss ass. He's a male identified kiss ass. Like, watch every single interview that he does. It's like he sucks their dick, and it's so cringe to watch. It's just like, especially when it comes to a straight male. And I don't know what the fuck went on in Carlos' childhood, but it very much gives the person who got beat up. And so now you spending your life thanking all of the women because, you know, the women were the one who took you in when the guys in the locker room was fucking you up. So it's like you have allegiance to women because they saved you. But then at the same time, you still want to be seen by the straight males who used to beat on you. So you also suck they dick. So they'll like you. Like it's cringe and it's weird. It's weird.
If you were rightfully so in a different space, but what I want the raindrops to know right now, this is real, y'all know I don't lie to y'all, your energy is infectious. You're in a great mood.
Oh my God, I can't. He does this every interview.
I started
Every
experiencing.
interview, he sucks their dick. Bitch, get to what the fuck we here for. Like, you're not convincing us of shit.
Ignorant, like I'm not even gonna pay it any mind or attention. And then other days it's like I want to argue with every single person and I want to prove myself. I want to explain myself. And I know that I can't. Like I can't respond to each and every one of these individuals. So this felt like the safest space to do that and then just kind of wash my hands of it. You know, like what I say here today, this is my final statement. Like I'm not going back and forth with anybody because I know that this.
Okay, so I hope that means that she's not coming back for part B of the season. Because the reason why we're not getting a reunion is because for whatever reason, well, we know it's money. VH1 is deciding to do the whole, oh, we're going to do a split season. Same shit that Carlos be doing with Love and Marriage, Love and Hip Hop Huntsville. Like, where it's like, oh, we're going to film 12 episodes, take a break, and then come back. So we probably going to get the second half of the season in February when ain't nobody thinking about this shit, and they're going to bring it back up, and then we're going to have a reunion. Girl.
This is my truth. I know what my intentions are and what they've always been. And I'm not going to let outsiders create this narrative that really isn't me. Like, if you know me, and you're just meeting me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been around me all of 10 minutes. There are people that have known me my whole life and know, like, this is not who
oh my God,
who you are. That was a really bad moment in your life and it's publicized for everybody to see, but this is not who you are. So you can't wear that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't, and I don't want that for you at all. And I'm happy that, look, after this conversation.
I also want y'all to keep in mind that it is Mercury retrograde, okay? It is Mercury retrograde in Leo. We're all going through something during this time period. I mean, listen, and there's transits that happen every day. Y'all know I'm an astrologer, light worker, psychic, healer, all of that. Some Mercury retrogrades is going to be bigger for other people than it is other people, right? Some of y'all might not be feeling shit at all. And it's not a typical, oh, during Mercury retrograde, it's just communication fucks up and exes come back, period. No. However, during this one particular, it's in Leo. And Leo rules the 5th house, which rules over exes. It rules over dating. It rules over relationships. But it's Mercury. Mercury also rules over communication, over thoughts. And so we've seen certain things play out in the media, like Nicki Minaj versus SZA. That was a byproduct of this retrograde. Even with this Jackie and Chantel situation, that's a byproduct because Jackie's a fucking Leo.
I agree with you. They have this to watch until the end of time before obviously your next ventures, and we'll get to that too. But I want to start from the beginning, okay?
Let's.
And that's why the fuck we here for 2 hours. We don't give a fuck about her beginning.
Who was Chantel Christie as a little girl with the parents of Doug and Jackie? Like, what was your childhood like?
An entitled golden child.
Everybody used to call me the poor little rich girl. Because even though like my parents had money, people think that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, right? And of course, like you have those material things, but I was the kid that wanted to like work for it. Like I was making the family newspapers, I was trying to do hair, like all of the little hustles. That is something that I get from my mom. You know, like I'm a hustler at heart. So this idea that I grew up.
Before we even get into this, I'm gonna clock it right now. Chantel wants to be seen. Chantel has abandonment issues. That's why she doesn't like Jackie. That's why she lashes out. And it's crazy how we have all of this smoke for Jackie, but none for Doug. And get the fuck out of my face talking about how Doug. Shut up, because y'all use any and every opportunity to bash these niggas' heads in, except this one. As much as y'all hate niggas, as much as y'all hate men, but we dancing around hula hoops. Okay, we jumping around obstacle courses, trying not to make Doug also accountable for this. Like, get out of my face. Get out of my face. Okay? Any other day, y'all hate niggas, but now, when it comes to this situation, girl, bye. Chantel has abandonment issues. So her working hard as a kid, no, bitch. No. You worked hard as a kid because you wanted to be seen. Hey, look what I'm doing. Yes, we get money, but look what I'm doing. Notice me. That's why this whole entire season, that's all she's been lashing out and yelling. Take away the cursing. Take away her pushing Jackie. Take away everything and focus on what she's really saying. Notice me. Even when I tell you not to notice me, you should still be noticing me because I should always have the attention on me. That's a Chantel issue. I'm going to let this play out, though. But I promise you I'm right. Because I know my shit and I know people. Hence why I do readings. Hence why I do what I do. Book you a motherfucking alignment reading, okay? I don't need to watch a 2-hour interview to understand who the hell this bitch is. I already know.
just very privileged and like spoiled and bratty. It couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, I think that having my grandmother in the house for all of my life, literally, like she passed away when I was 18. So for 18 years, I have this incredible woman that is around dropping all these gems and kind of just raising me in the ways that my mom couldn't. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Is this Doug's mother or Jackie's mother?
This is Jackie's mom.
Okay.
She's been on the show before. I think in the first season, her journey with cancer and stuff like that was kind of chronicled a little bit. And so, yeah, I mean, even though I didn't have maybe like a conventional or like a typical upbringing because we moved around so much. Every time my dad got traded, we're moving. We were never stationary like I am with my kids now, And so I experienced,
again, abandonment issues. Her life has been so uprooted, and it's just like either things are constantly being taken away from her or she's constantly having to give something up. I can clock this shit like the back of my hand because we all go through codependency and abandonment issues. It just looks different for everybody else. I can tell you for me, I've had to move 15 times in the last 5 years. 15 times in the last 5 years. Do you understand what type of abandonment issues that causes for a person? Do you understand what type of instability that causes for a person? What type of psychological issues that causes for a person? That's how I can read right through Chantel. I can see right through her. I know her issues.
A lot over time, just living in Canada, living in Texas, living in California. Like I've had so many different experiences over my life that I just have I'm just a different person, than I guess you would typically meet because I've had so many experiences and I've lived so many places and I've met so many people. Like I think in that way I'm a little more well-rounded than maybe I present myself, like when I get upset, obviously I have a hard time talking and expressing myself, but yeah, that little girl, she still lives in me, but I think
because that little girl is sitting right there on that damn seat, on that damn couch, whatever the hell this is, it's the left seat. That little girl is still present because that little girl has never grown up. Clock it. The little girl has never matured. Clock it. Might as well go ahead and get you some barrettes and beads and put it in your hair. Go ahead and warm up your formula. Goo goo gaga.
I have just kind of buried her away a little bit.
When you were a little girl growing up, your grandmother obviously lives there. You're saying that, she pretty much was, not to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming.
Now, wait a damn minute, because the way that Chantel has made it seem this whole entire time was that they got shipped off to their grandmother. Getting shipped off to your grandmother's house and then your grandmother living with you is two completely different things, and I would know that because I had both happen with me, okay? There was a moment where I was shipped off to my aunt's house because me and my mother's relationship was so toxic I couldn't, okay? And my grandmother also lived there. And there was a moment where my grandmother came to live with us several times, okay? So also understand too, as somebody who is an actual product of a toxic environment and a toxic hostile relationship with a parent to the point where the only way we can have a relationship is if we are not in physical close proximity. Please understand, my mother is a fucking narcissist. Please understand, I would be the first person to believe Chantel and stand in allyship with her if what she was saying was true. But it's not. It's bullshit. But Chantel, you had us believing that, Jackie just dropped you off on your grandmother's doorstep and then just left. But her living at your familial house, that's very different, y'all. I'm sorry, it's very different.
The mother figure you were looking for.
Absolutely.
You did say on camera that Jackie was obviously chasing Doug, but obviously there with her husband as he is being a basketball player. We all know Jackie Christie was at every game. Did you feel like your mother abandoned you and your siblings for her husband?
For a long time, I did feel that way. And I think that now that I'm a mother and a wife myself, and I'm married to someone that is actually in that same profession, I can understand her thought process or where she was coming from. Like, listen, it's all these groupies out here. I want to be next to my man, right?
And then I think people also, and this is why I am quick to shut down the colorism shit when it comes to Chantel and Takari, because people have to understand it. Like, we literally saw Jackie and Doug get married hella fucking times over the seasons. Clearly, they love. So if we know Jackie to be this pick-me and chasing Dick and chasing Doug and all of this, why is nobody thinking about the fact that she had a failed marriage before? Huh? Like, why is nobody relating it back to real life? We see the way that y'all bitches be acting over these degenerates every day. So is it that far-fetched to believe that, oh, Jackie went through a failed marriage and as somebody who loves love, she's going to make sure it never happens again? And it just so happens that the person who she falls in love with and marries is a light-skinned person. That's what it is. She wanted to do so right by Doug and show him I could be this down ass loyal ass wife. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna take care of your kids. Da, da, da. And then she ended up forgetting about Takari. If you watch Bell Collective, the same shit was happening with So Gucci, right? Same shit. And then they tried to say the same shit over there. That So Gucci hated her daughter, and then her daughter felt like it was colorism. And it's like, that's such a scapegoat issue. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Now, if it comes to a point of, you know what, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm done over explaining.
What I realize now as a mother myself is that that's a choice. You can choose to go and be with your man, or you can choose to be with your children. And you made your choice, and that's okay. Like, it is what it is, and I can't go back and change it. You can't go back and change it, but you also can't tell me that that wasn't my experience. When I had these basketball games, when I had these school events, when I had the parent-teacher conferences, when I got my first menstrual cycle, like,
Now, let me tell you, and then we go right there, her first menstrual cycle, because Chantel wanted the type of relationship with Jackie where it was we're mother and daughter, we're best friends, we have sleepovers, we share secrets, you help me figure out boys and my parents. She wanted the classic TV role of what she felt like a mother could be. That's why she has all of this smoke for Jackie, and she's mad and she's pissed the fuck off that she didn't get that. But is that a Jackie problem or a Chantel problem? Because you cannot look at Jackie and say, oh, you need to go to hell and you need to pay because you're not a motherly type of person. Yes, you're a mother, okay? But you're not super feminine and super submissive. And it's like, because Chantel, and like, you want her to be submissive to you, but not to her man. And granted, there is a thing called balance where it's like, yes, you can show up as a wife, but also show up as a mother. But the problem is, and this is why she has no smoke for Doug, she has a problem with the fact that Jackie wasn't the typical role of a mother that she wanted her to be. That doesn't mean that Jackie abused or neglected her or did anything. It just means that what she saw for her mother wasn't that. And Chantel, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. Aside from all the BS that I had personally went through with my own parent, after a while, I had to separate the actual abuse aside from, like, okay, there's certain desires and wishes that I have that I just have to come to the conclusion that you're never going to be. Like, you're never going to be, because I can totally understand that, right? Like, and people used to ask me all the time, like, or just assume that because my father wasn't in my life that affected me, and it didn't. Like, I can't be affected by somebody I never knew. Like, but what affected me was that I had my mother in my life, and my mother wasn't the motherly. Like, everything I'm saying about Chantel, I've gone through that personally. But even that aside, like, once I understand, okay, this is how you are, cool. Like, I had to, in my own mind, come to terms with, you are who you are, and we are all different people and different individuals. And TV and entertainment has painted our lives to look one way, or it tells us that our lives should be one way. And it's just, that's not how it works. It's not reality. And I don't think Chantel has ever gotten to that point. To her, she's stuck in the programming and believing that women act like this, men act like this. Again, hence why she's willing to give Doug such a pass, because it's just like, well, we know Doug is the breadwinner. He's the man. That's just what men do. But whereas you got all of this smoke for Jackie, that's a Chantel problem. That's not a Jackie problem. That's a Chantel problem, because she's stuck in the programming and stuck in the matrix.
This my grandmother was who was there for those experiences. So that doesn't take away the fact that you gave birth to me, or that, we do have memories throughout my life. Like, I'm not taking that away from her at all. But,
and also too, let me say this, because there's a lot of Chantel apologists that will be like, oh, well, Jackie created triangulation between the two sisters. No. Chantel, okay, I can't stand when people double text me like this. I'm about to cuss whoever the fuck this is out. Don't y'all hate when somebody double text? Like, don't do that. Make me want to put my shit on Do Not Disturb. What was I saying? I feel like, Chantel, you might have created triangulation as well. Because when you have one woman showing up for you in all the womanly, quote unquote, womanly, feminine, submissive ways, and then you have another woman who's more alpha, then you're like, well, why can't my mother be like my grandmother? What the fuck going on here? You her daughter, ain't you? Huh? Jackie, ain't you her daughter? So why you don't act like her? Why she acting like a better mother than me than you are? But does that mean that the grandmother was acting like a better mother? Or does it mean that the grandmother is just more in touch with her feminine side? Like, just because, like, what I want to be known, and what I'm really trying to say is, no woman should be shamed for being more alpha and more dominant and more masculine than the typical woman. And I think that's the problem here when it comes to Chantel and Jackie. She wants to shame Jackie because Jackie is not your typical soft butterflies and, ooh, let's paint each other toenails. And no, she's pissed that Jackie was the disciplinarian. She's pissed at that. Instead of being pissed at Doug, she's pissed at Jackie. And she shouldn't be pissed at nobody. Your parents are who they are. People are going to be who they are. What you see on TV is not fucking reality. We can want all day. But, like, does that mean that your parents are abusive because they're not the textbook definition of what you assumed a mother would be? No, that's bullshit.
To try to rewrite history in an effort to discredit me, that's where we differ.
There's been conversations about, there seems to be so much blame with your mom, and there's none with your dad. And the two of them both made
Let's wake it up.
the decision to have you.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like Jackie gets all the smoke. They recognize that your mom may not have been the perfect parent, but they do feel like a lot of the smoke your mother gets and your father doesn't. Why is that?
Because these are my experiences. I mean, you can.
That's not an answer. That's not an answer. That's not an answer. These could be your experiences, but your experience could still be bullshit. And also, let me say this. Just because you experience shit one way doesn't mean that, let me say this. You know how many motherfuckers go around raping and killing and murdering motherfuckers and selling drugs? But then you look back at their family members once a nigga go to jail. Oh, free Pookie. Free Pookie. Pookie ain't really like that. Pookie ain't really do that shit. But they speaking from their experiences. How the fuck you gonna tell me that this motherfucker didn't assault me? How you gonna tell me that? Right? But that's their experience with them, right? That's what they choosing to see, right? So it works on both sides, Chantel. It works on both sides.
Very well live in the same house, and everybody has a different experience. And I tell a lot of people, like, my dad has had the pleasure of experiencing my mom as a wife. Me and my siblings have experienced her as a mother. And there is a difference there. And if you don't acknowledge that or you don't understand that.
Okay, but Chantel, you have smoke for this one person, but not your father who chose to remarry Jackie time and time again. You feel abandonment from your mother, but not your father who was complicit in the bullshit. Shut the fuck up.
I love that for you. But as for me, it was different. Like, I'm watching you put on this, like, perfect, okay, dad is on the way home. Like, let me make sure everything is good and perfect. Like, I've seen it in real time. You get what I'm saying? And so now, as I said, a mother and a wife myself, especially to someone that's in the same profession, I understand how busy their schedules can get. You get up.
I don't even know if I'm about to sit here for the whole 2 hours because I'm telling y'all what it is. She looked at Jackie and said, bitch, you could do all that submissive shit when it comes to a nigga, but you can't do it for your kids. And she resents Jackie because of that. Hence why an episode before the finale, when they was in Hawaii and she sat down with them girls, matter of fact, it might have even been the finale episode after she finished. It was right after she finished chasing Jackie around the hotel, cussing her out. She sat down with the bottom three and she said, I wish me and Jackie could be best friends. I wish we had that relationship. Because that's what it is. And that's why she resents Jackie. Because it's like, oh, you act like you can't be soft and feminine, but you show up that way for a man. You can't do that for me? No, she can't, bitch. So now what?
You go work out. You got a shooting practice. You got to meet with the coach. It's a full day's work. And I get that. So when I hear people say, well, why doesn't he get any of the blame? Do y'all think that he was just sitting there and he would just watch her, like, verbally abuse me and go on about his day? Like, that's not the way that it happened. It didn't. These instances.
Verbally abuse me. Verbally abuse me. Again, pay attention to what people say, how they say it, question everything. Verbally abuse me. Whole time, the way Chantel is talking, she wants you to think that Jackie was just like, get your skinny, light skin, Oreo vanilla looking at, like, verbally abuse. Okay.
I'm telling you, she's telling me, if you don't go clean your room, your dad's going to kick you down the stairs. And this is clearly he's not here, which is why she's saying that. But I think that the view.
Chantel is weaponizing take the chicken out the freezer. She is weaponizing take the chicken out the freezer. And if Carlos is a good interviewer, then what he needs to say is, okay, now Chantel, there's a lot of unprogramming that we've constantly had to do as Black people. Like, we've realized, okay, maybe hitting our children isn't the best. Do you show your mother any grace in some areas? Can you understand that while you have a right to feel whatever you feel, at the end of the day, open threats are harmless until they become harmful when it comes to the Black community? Like, come on now. There's a very clear difference between a child called It and a bitch being locked in a basement and actually chained up and abused and slapped and all of this, that, and the third, versus just your mother being Black. And that's just a common thing that Black women say. Like, if you don't take the chicken out the freezer, I'm a whoop your ass. Like, come on now. Come on, Chantel. Come on in. Come on. And this is what I'm talking about. All the people who just sit here riding for Chantel. Your dumbass ain't watched the show, so shut the fuck up. I can't stand an ignorant bitch who tries to come into the conversation with only half the information. Shut the fuck up.
Are in some ways choosing to be willfully ignorant and say, well, why are you putting all the blame on her? I'm speaking about my negative experiences with her. If that's the blame, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it by all means. But I didn't have the same sort of negative experiences with my dad that I have with my mom. And I think that that's a story for a lot of people out here, that you do have a great relationship with one parent and they can very well still be married. I think that my dad has shown over these last 3 decades that he will love her through and through.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to try to.
And so how do you still love a person who you claim? Okay. How do you still love a person who is loving on a person who you claim has verbally abused you, Chantel? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. When I cut my mother off, I cut my entire family off. I went no contact with everybody, deleted everybody's numbers, changed my number. I don't fuck with my family and I never will, because y'all bitches set and y'all allowed this bitch to treat me however the fuck. But then when I speak up, I'm the problem child. No, it's smoke for everybody. All y'all bitches complicit. Because everybody quiet until I leave. And then now the narcissist has nobody to attack and let out all that energy on. And now it's your turn. And now you understand. But when it was my turn, everybody overlooked. Because as long as they benefited, like, I'm sorry, Chantel, get out of my face. You playing, and a lot of us faces who actually went through this type of trauma, like real life trauma. And get the fuck out of my face if you about to reply with, oh, but everybody has a different girl, suck my dick. Absolutely not. Some shit is just black and white.
Love you out of this. I'm going to try to love you into being a better person and all of these things. So I don't want to speak on their marriage. I think that what I did and said on the show in regard to their marriage was very tacky and tasteless. And I think that being a wife myself, like, I don't want nobody to do that to me.
Your workflow is important to us. Please wait indefinitely.
With Monday.com's intuitive work.
So just because I'm upset, like, girl, all right now, like, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, I just saw red and I just felt so like, you're really.
And that's because she's a sociopath who has never been checked. I'm sorry. Half the time that Jackie was leaving, getting up and leaving, I think it was to protect Chantel. Something about Chantel gives me that she used to be a hothead when she was a little kid. I don't know if you want to call it bipolar disorder. I don't know what you want to call it, but something about Chantel gives me, we have to wear kid gloves with Chantel, because when she gets angry, and I'm sorry for who this offends. I don't know a better way to say it. Oh, well, bitch. Listen, I don't have a PhD. It very much gives that autistic kid, that kid that's on the spectrum and they have anger issues. That's what it gives. Something about Chantel very much gives kid that is on the spectrum and they don't know how to process anger, so they just get upset and they throw a temper tantrum, almost like a terrible two. And we've all seen children like that, and it's no shade to them. I'm just saying that's what Chantel gives. And it gives, we've had to wear kid gloves around her because we don't know how she's going to react, and she might go 0 to 10. And because of Jackie's guilt from not being there, that's why she's allowing her to lash out and do everything she's doing.
Playing in my face, and like, now I'm just unloading the clip. Like, you know what I mean? And saying things that I typically wouldn't, or that I know that I shouldn't, but here we are.
Mhm.
Now we both rolling around in the pig pen, looking crazy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
No accountability.
I don't know. And I think the tough times that I have had with my dad over the years, whether it was as a teenager or whatever, he's always apologized. He's always set the standard. He's always taken accountability. If there was something that he did wrong, he stood on that. And he parented me in a way that I respect you. Like, we may not have always had this perfect relationship, but I respect the way that you've treated me. And I tell people, I say, I wasn't raised, from as far as my mom goes, I wasn't raised on respect. I was raised on fear. And because of that, I believe that when you get to a certain age or a certain point in your life, that fear dissipates. And then it's like, I'm looking in your face and I'm telling you, I'm not scared of you.
Mhm.
And so that's what I think that the viewers aren't really understanding. We didn't have
Chantel, we understand it perfectly. Like, how are you going to take like a millennial issue? You're going to take a millennial issue that most millennials have gone through and then tell us that we don't understand. We all understand. But is everybody supposed to now come out and act like they've all been abused? That's the difference, Chantel. That's the difference. You're one of these new age Gen Z type of motherfuckers who feels like they have to put a label on everything. Just because your mother told you one time, take the chicken out the freezer, or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you, and it was an open threat, does not mean that your mother was whooping your ass every day, making you feel abused and traumatizing you. No, you put in 20 on 10 in order to feel like a victim. And that is something that this new generation does a lot. And I understand Chantel is a millennial. She's about 31, 32. She's about like the same age as me. But it's like you're putting 20 on 10 in order to feel included. You're one of those people who you ain't got shit going on in life, so you try to purposely make yourself busy or overhype a small ass situation and make a mountain out of a molehill just to make it seem like you got shit going on. You purposely victimize yourself just so that the attention can be back on you. That's why a lot of people are not connecting with you, because your story is not organic. It's not authentic.
this close, locked in mother-daughter, come lay down on your shoulder, tell you, like, we didn't have that.
See? And what did I say? What the fuck did I tell y'all?
I tell people, I say, I wasn't raised, from as far as my mom goes, I wasn't raised on respect. I was raised on fear. And because of that, I believe that when you get to a certain age or a certain point in your life, that fear dissipates. And then it's like, I'm looking in your face and I'm telling you, I'm not scared of you.
Mhm.
And so that's what I think that the viewers aren't really understanding. We didn't have this close, locked in mother-daughter, come lay down on your shoulder, tell you, like, we didn't have that my whole life. We've tried. We've had those moments that you do see on the show from previous seasons where we're out and we're shopping and I got my daughter, and we've tried to have those moments, but we don't have that.
Exactly, because y'all are oil and vinegar. Because you have this idea of what a woman is supposed to be. That's you, Chantel. You have to fix that. You have to fix that. Again, me actually going through actual psychological and verbal and emotional, going through all the abuse that she claiming that she went through. I actually went through it. Okay? And I watched as my other siblings were treated better. I watched as I was the black sheep. I watched as my other siblings were the golden children. I was made out to be the fucking problem. Okay? And I watched how literally everything I'm saying with Chantel, I literally happened with me. I watched as my mother knew how to show up and a little bit more submissive, a little bit more feminine, quote unquote, with the other kids. But with me, it was just like disciplinary and hard. And I get the anger and all, but that's a you problem, Chantel. You have to work on that. You got to work on that, because that is something separate from any abuse. That is something separate. That's the part where you come in and you got to work on that. Now, any actual abuse, that's them.
And that's okay.
Well, listen, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not okay. You know what I mean? It's not okay because one thing I even said in my recap was, and we'll get to the incident in later.
I don't care what you have to say, Carlos.
Her, she talked down to you. But for me, that wasn't the type of parenting that I needed, right? And I've learned through being a mother myself that you have to kind of meet your kids where they are and you have to handle them differently. And so I think that maybe, and this is where I give her grace, maybe you didn't know how to be a parent, right? Maybe you didn't understand how to be a mother, how to talk to your kids, how to problem solve and be kind and gentle and all of those things. I can give you grace.
I don't know if I'm gonna be here the whole 2 hours because Chantel is taking a collective millennial problem and trying to now become the poster child for abuse. And that's what's not sitting right with me. That's what's not like Chantel, like, because collectively we've all kind of realized this, but a lot of people have ended up being able to like really show grace and really, because it's such a thin line because the automatic go-to is, but she still has a right to. She can do whatever the fuck she want to do with her life. But we can also judge and say, you putting 20 on 10, Chantel. You putting 20 on 10. And you're making a mockery of actual abuse. You are. You are. Like collectively as millennials, we've all kind of realized at the same time, like the way our parents was taught and the way that they was raised, the difference between generations. Cool. But for you to now carry on as though you was really like getting fucking abused, you're making a mockery. I'm sorry, you just are.
But you can't tell me that I didn't experience what I experienced, right? And so that's where the rub comes in because it's like you want to rewrite history and tell me I didn't do that. I gave you everything. I gave you the best life. You did. You could provide all of the material things. He made millions of dollars and you could provide all of the things. That doesn't take away from the fact that I felt like you was talking to me really crazy, or I feel like you were emotionally abusive, or that doesn't.
Would she call you out your name?
Plenty of times.
The B word?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like you tell me at 12 years old to my face, I hate you, verbatim. That is a moment I will never forget.
Why did she say that?
We were just in the middle of one of our many heated arguments, disputes about whatever it may have been. And it just got to a point where she was like, I hate you. And I think that out of all of her kids, out of all 3 of us, I'm the most outspoken. I'm the one that is like pedal to the floor, right? I've always been that way. Anybody that knows me knows that. And that's something that I need to work on. That's something that I need to change about myself and improve on. But this didn't come out of nowhere. And it definitely didn't happen for the sake of this show. This is who I've been. And the instances that we've had that have been very heated, it's never gotten physical, but it's gotten right there beneath it. The words that are being exchanged, the things that are being said, this is not new. This didn't come out of nowhere. Like we've had those really hard moments where it's like, I cannot believe that you're my mom. And maybe at times she thought, I can't believe you're my daughter. I don't know.
Would you call her the B word back?
I don't think that I've ever called her the B word to her face until we got to Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 12 years old, your mother says, I hate you, as you guys were arguing. And as a 12-year-old girl, that chips away.
Absolutely.
At your confidence, and it chips away at your ability. And again, I really, the blessing of this conversation is because I think if people can not look at what happened on Basketball Wives, and I want you guys to just, for a second, remove the altercation on Basketball Wives and what I told him about that. So for 28 years,
you held on to it.
I held on to it. I never forgot it. And for 28 years, I lived my life thinking my father doesn't like who I am because I am a feminine boy. My sexuality.
How did this become about you, Carlos?
Will feel some sort of way towards me, whether that's for whatever your reasoning is. You have to hate me because if you didn't, why would you treat me like this?
And when you say treat you, obviously your sister, we'll get that in a second. Your sister said, baby, Chantel was spoiled. My mama looked, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it appeared that, or what was said was, you were the apple of Jackie's eye. You were the one who got everything they wanted. You were the one that they poured so much into, and that you are a mini Jackie yourself. Is that something that you can acknowledge?
And she is a mini Jackie. Her whole life is set up now just like Jackie. 2 different baby daddies, one in a goddamn NBA. Okay, like I just feel like I keep repeating myself when it comes to Chantel. I do. And I can understand how, because I've also felt like my parent hated the fuck out of me and then had the nerve to say, this bitch gonna say, like, last year, you my favorite. I said, I, I can't be your favorite with the way that you fucking treat me. I know you fucking lying. You've always been. Let me tell you how to gag, right? Go ahead and like this video because the song that I'm about to play, I'm about to tell y'all a quick little story.
The universe is P double T to the Y, and it won't stop till I wake up and realize that I am the 1, 2, 3. I am the bitch that these other niggas ain't. How you gonna escape when I am the key? That's why everywhere I go, they say following me like damn. Get back on track, look at who I am. Every day is number than this lifespan. Look in the mirror, tell myself again. Self-love and happiness is all about a God's plan. Happy, doing what I please. Trying to do what I need. Whatever it takes to be free. I wanna be happy. Doing what I please. Trying to do what I need. Whatever it takes to be free.
Now, as uplifting as that song is, do y'all know that last year when I released that song, my mother had, because there was a long time that we wasn't talking for a couple of years. So there was a point where she started following me on YouTube. And so long story short, after I had dropped the song, a short had came up featuring the song or whatever, or the lyric video or whatever. And she listened to the song. And then one day, child, after we had argued down for me to go to the store, like it's so deep. I want to get too deep into my life, but we was arguing back and forth like cats and dogs after she had did some psychologically abusive shit. And this bitch had listened to the song and was just like, you put out that song and you're so amazing when it comes to music and your writing and all of that, but like, understand I'm here for you. Like, she just took the whole. I'm like, do you understand that song is happy, it's uplifting, like it's not. I mean, it's how I felt, but like she really went at it like I was depressed and about to off myself type shit, and then going to say, you're well, I know we go at it, but you're my favorite, and I'm just like, girl, because you would like, no, absolutely not, absolutely not. So I can understand having a parent and then you feel like, why does this person hate me? Like, was it a rough pregnancy? Was I a baby that you didn't want at the wrong time? Like, I understand all of that, and internalizing all of that, that still doesn't take away from the fact that Chantel needs to do the inner work. And that's the problem that a lot of us are having. Because while a lot of what Chantel is saying comes off like bullshit and comes off like her cosplaying, at the end of the day, Chantel clearly has not done any inner work, and she's not about healing. She's about exposing. She's about taking down Jackie. She's about hurting Jackie in a way that she's been hurt. And that's what a lot of us aren't getting jiggy with, because it's like you're cosplaying and making a mockery out of a lot of our actual trauma, but then you're not even trying to like do the actual fucking work to reach a solution. But yet you the same bitch who said, oh, I hate my mother so much and I'm so fearful of her that I'm going to go and apply for a position down at her job. And I'm also going to, go and live in her building so that she could watch over me and my kid. Like, what? Like, make it make sense, Chantel, because it doesn't. It doesn't. And two things can be true. You can be in a place to where you've been abused and now you're forced to go back home. Which is also a whole other thing that I've had to do twice, where it's like, even after no contact, it's like shit had gotten so bad, in order to take 20 steps forward, I had to go 10 steps back. And oh my God, that's a whole other thing in itself. So I definitely understand that, but like Chantel, it's not translating.
That you, out of all your siblings, you are the one that got the most or was spoiled?
I won't say out of all my siblings, because me and my brother have the same mom and dad, right? Mm-hmm. And so for my sister, and I'm going to try to be not careful with my words, because my truth is my truth, right? But I now understand that she doesn't want me to speak about her and her experiences. So I can speak on mine, right? My sister has a different father. And so, not to in any way take away from her experiences, right? But I have a daughter from a previous relationship, and now I have my son with my husband. And I know that for me personally, I go out of my way to ensure that they feel equal. I never want my daughter to be in this house feeling like, oh, mommy and Noah and Daquan are sitting there on the couch and I'm off to myself. I don't play like that. My kids are equal. It doesn't matter who your father is. I'm your mother, and this is what it is. So I think that a lot of what she may have felt came from the fact that you see mom and dad in this household. And no matter if my dad adopts you, no matter if he takes you under his wing, no matter all of these things, you still don't feel like this is really mine. You almost feel like an outsider in some ways. And so,
boom. Hence why I say, was it colorism or was it black sheep versus golden child? Jackie loves love. She failed the marriage, and now she's in a new marriage. I'm going to do any and everything to show this man why he needs to keep me. Even if it means, I'm going to show him that the child we have together, I'm going to go above and beyond for. That's what a neglect creeps in. That's where Takari starts feeling like, well, damn. Then on top of that, that's not Takari's daddy. So she already got the internal feelings of, well, how do I navigate this? Because that's not my father and my father not around. And then also too, Takari has a speech impediment. So there's multiple things to consider before we just jump to colorism. Like people always do. It's fucking lazy.
For me, I always felt like, how do I get us to be equal? Or how do I get her to feel like she's just as much loved and adored as I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, you see me having these great experiences with my father.
No, she didn't. And see, Chantel, this is where you start lying. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because as long as a golden child is benefiting, they don't give a damn about the black sheep. They don't. They don't. And that's where Takari's experiences now start mattering. Not that they didn't before, but y'all understand what I'm saying. That's where Takari's experiences now come into the conversation. Because no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because that would then invalidate all of. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I want you to have the same thing. So I can't tell you what her thought process was. I can't tell you.
And then I'm gonna take it a step further. Somebody at the age, isn't Takari older than Chantel? You're not going to tell me that Chantel is a 12-year-old was thinking these such grand adult things. Like you okay.
You what my mom's thought process was, but for me, even if I did have the material things, I still felt just as my sister did. We was both left here with our grandmother. She didn't take me with her. Like, our experiences, maybe because yours are different, it doesn't change what that we were raised by the same mother. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So much of what you experienced, I probably did too. It may have looked different for you because it is different for you. But that doesn't mean that you got this monster and I got this perfect mother. That's not what happened. Now, if that's your experience, I understand that, but that wasn't my experience.
And it goes back to,
and I think that's I can't drill the point home hard enough. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what Chantel may have gone through with 10 being the worst, Chantel, you probably went through a 3, but you're coming around making it like it was a 10. That's the problem. That's why I have such an issue connecting to it. That's why a lot of people have an issue connecting with it, because it's not to negate your experiences. That's why she keeps on saying, well, my experience is my experience. And you could have experienced some bullshit. Or what you're saying was your experience could be some bullshit. But Chantel, you're parading around like you went through the worst of the worst. And it's just like, okay, could Jackie have been better? Yeah. But like, come on now. Out of a scale of 1 to 10, Chantel, what you went through was a 4. So please stop acting like it was an 8, 9, 10. Please cut it out. Please cut it out.
What we say that children can live in the same household with their parents and have a different experience.
At times.
Want the fastest working?
This shit is long as hell, and we already been here an hour. We're gonna have to start fast forwarding.
You didn't know any better, so you couldn't do any better. But then there are other instances where it's like, now you know you was dragging it, right? Like, you know you was out of line. And because I can never have that sort of real honest conversation where she just takes the mask off and she just says, you know what, this is the real, right? Like, and meets me in this conversation with the desire to understand instead of attack or feel attacked. We can't really get anywhere because I'm telling you what my experiences are and you're telling me what maybe your intentions were, and we can't meet somewhere in the middle.
I also think too, now in 2025, especially with TikTok, certain things have been glamorized. Going no contact has been glamorized. Having friction with family has been glamorized. Everybody wanting to be the main character has been glamorized. And then y'all wonder why come 4th of July, y'all don't know where to go for a cookout. Y'all wonder why when it come time for Thanksgiving and holidays, y'all don't know where to go to have a meal or who's the, like, because it's like everybody can't be no contact now. That's not everybody's situation. Some of y'all are avoiding attachment, right? Like some of y'all. And I'm going to have to do a separate video on this because I believe there are real people, real victims out there, real people who have been abused and literally should not be around their family. Then there are other people who have not done the work and are like, oh, that's my story too. Let me use that as an excuse. Where it's like, now all y'all need to do is just go to therapy and shit will be fixed. But because this seems like the easier way out, you're going to go and make that your story. Like, it's a very fine line. Because then again, when you start speaking on it, then it becomes, you can't tell me my story. Actually, I can, though. I can. Like, you're putting on. And like, that's part of what I. Oh, okay. But that's what I hate about social media and TikTok. It's like everybody does not have that story. Everybody shouldn't be no contact with family. It's like some people are just entitled and you feel like, oh, because I didn't get a PlayStation for my birthday, I'm gonna go no contact with my family and I'm gonna just I don't know. And I hope y'all understand what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And that's how things start to really deteriorate and play out how they have.
You were close to your grandmother, which is Jackie's mom. Growing up, what did you see in terms of how was Jackie's relationship? This estranged mother figure who you felt at the time, what was her relationship, a dynamic like with your grandmother who you cherish and just love so much?
It wasn't bad. I think that she was, the only one in this life that I've witnessed outside of my dad who really loved my mom unconditionally. Like, I know who you are, I know how you are, and I'm gonna love you through that. I'm gonna try to fix you in some ways. You get what I'm saying? Like, my mom is one of 9. My grandma had 9 kids. And this is the one that you chose to live with, help out. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there are still 8 other children, but my mom was more so like, I'm not going to say the problem child, but I think that my grandmother knew she's the one that needs it the most. And so having.
Boom. And now look at you. Again, you are Jackie reincarnated. From the marriage to the 2 baby daddies to you trying to also put your child in modeling, like how she put you through modeling, to y'all being the outspoken ones. Yeah.
Her there, it was like she just picked up a lot of the slack. She just did all the things. You're cooking every meal, you're taking us to school, pick up, drop off, sitting in the parking lot sometimes. Like, do you get what I'm saying? You're being the mother for her. And whether that was you are enabling her to not step up to the plate as a mom, whether you feel like you're giving her the support that she needs for her own mental, I don't know. And because my grandmother is no longer here, I can't really have that conversation and get that sort of clarity and understanding to be able to better understand my mom. I don't have that.
In this very moment, I have a light bulb moment. Maybe you recognize it in yourself and you have, or maybe you haven't. In this very moment, I have an aha moment of, if any Black child grew up where their grandmother pretty much raised them, the moment your grandmother passed away, you lost her protector.
Oh my gosh.
You lost her protector. And I think subconsciously, Chantel, the moment the woman who you felt protected you was there for you, you loved. The moment she passed away, you were now forced to deal with your mother alone without that shield.
Without that shield. And at that point, I really felt like a motherless child. Even though my mother is here in the flesh, this woman that had.
Because Carlos, here you go with the most obvious shit. Like, this so deep and so profound. No, what's deep and profound isn't the fact she felt like a motherless child. What's deep and profound is the fact like she feels like a motherless child because her version of what she wants her mother to be, her mother isn't. Jackie is not your fucking grandmother. That's a Chantel problem.
Has raised me and taught me and picked me up when I was down and just been that safe, protective space for all of these years. Now she's gone. And she's
okay. Let's skip ahead because
we saw at the top of the season, we see your mom be, a doting grandmother in the sense of like, having fun with you guys. The one thing that I still do not understand, and again, as a producer, I know that oftentimes a lot of things aren't shown. And I want you to have the ability to address it. What was the moment this season where you felt like things took a turn between you and your mom?
The first scene.
In the apartment?
Now, put your producer hat on.
Okay.
Follow me here. Now, everybody is saying from the first scene that she came in, you act like you was on 10, you were so disrespectful. Understand something. My mom met my son when he was 7 months old. When she comes in the door and I say, oh, you got to warm up. That's me, for real, as a mama bear. I'm not going to put him in your arms for the sake of these cameras and have him on here howling and carrying on. I want him to be comfortable.
No, that's you being a bitch. That's you being a bitch. Because you could have texted to Jackie that. And this is why people feel like you came on this show to expose Jackie. Because granted, you feel that, okay, cool. Let's say you so hurt by Jackie, whatever. Okay, now you have a child and you don't want your child subjected to certain shit. I totally understand that. Cool. But then you text Jackie and say, hey, because at what point, Chantel, do you grow the fuck up? Even if you see Jackie isn't quote unquote being the mother that you want her to be, when do you grow the fuck up? You're now a grown ass adult. You're not 12 years old. So Chantel, if you like, cause here's the thing, Chantel, because you can't say I'm a mama bear and I'm looking out for my child, which shows off an adult, right? Adult decisions, adult choices, right? You was grown enough to lay down and open your legs and have a baby, right? That's adult choices, right? You can't say, oh, I'm mama bear, but then not be an adult when it comes to how you deal with your mother. You want to be a mama bear to your child, but then act like a child when it comes to your mother. Make it make sense. Because you can say to your mother, hey, this is our first time on camera. He's warming up to you. I'm warming up to you. Like, let's just try to be chill. Like, text that to her. But you're doing this all on camera because you want to expose Jackie.
I set out when I signed up to do this show to really establish the real in reality TV. I understand that people have grown accustomed to seeing these women get on here and sit down and fight and argue and throw drinks and go to dinner and talk about the same thing. And that wasn't what I signed up for. I'm going to be my real, true, authentic self. Whoever likes it. Whoever doesn't, that's okay too. So you're seeing these little, nuances or whatever in our relationship. This is our real dynamic. And I'm not going to get on here and pretend for anybody. Here you go. Here's grandma. I wasn't going to do that. Why would I do that to this is my real son. This is not no prop, baby.
And how old was your son at the time of that scene?
I think 9 months postpartum. So he was like 9-10 months.
So,
right in there.
So your mother met your son for the first time?
7 months.
Was that the second time she was around?
That was maybe the third, right within there. I think that.
So what the fuck are we warming up to? Okay. Yeah, her life.
She had, because obviously I had been in LA in that apartment well before we started filming, right? Like a week or two or whatever. She had seen him on different occasions, but not, my mom is not picking up my son, taking him to the park. This is not one of those sort of situations. You can come over and see him. You can come and visit him. Absolutely. Like I'm not going to keep you from your grandkids, right? But you also don't have that sort of typical grandparent relationship with him, right? She may have had that with my daughter because I lived in Sacramento at the time. So for the first 2.5 years of her life, you are able to see her. You are able to have these great experiences as a grandparent. But when it comes to my son, that wasn't the case. So.
And see, Chantel, again, this is where you start getting clocked. We're not just going to jump over that because I just showed you grace. I just gave you the benefit of the doubt because you saying when it comes to me and it comes to my child, you got to warm up to us. But then you go on to say you had already been in an apartment for 2 weeks and your mother has seen y'all on multiple occasions. So what are y'all warming up to? And then you go on to say it was different with my other daughter because we was in Sacramento or wherever we was with Jackie. So it was different. And she was able to do all of that. So what are we warming up to? Like, Chantel, you're contradicting yourself.
Fast forward, she comes in, she sits down, we're having our little, talk, whatever. She says, and I haven't said this publicly. She says, Vanna, I don't mean to pry, but how are things with, and insert my daughter's father's name. She says, how are things with Stacy? And I'm like, I know you fucking did. Now, mind you, leading up to this, we've had multiple conversations that we will not talk about that on this platform. I'm in the thick of a custody battle.
But I thought we were showing our real reality. What happened? I thought we were showing our real reality. Huh? Ain't that what you just said? That you want to show your real reality? That you're not going to get up here and fake? So if that's what's really going on, then really say it on camera that, now, Mom, now, Jackie, I don't want to talk about that in front of these cameras. Then say that. What happened? Oh, you only want to be real when it's time for you. Oh, you want control of the narrative and control of the situation. Right.
I'm going through, nobody out of my grandmother's 9 kids, nobody in our family has ever had any sort of custody, court, anything family-wise. They always figured it out amongst themselves. So here I am in the middle of this very heavy, serious situation. You promised me that you are not going to talk about it. You promised me that you will not bring it up. And if somebody else brings it up, you can just get up and you can just walk away, don't engage. And you get in here in the first scene and you throw me under the bus. Now, as a producer, we don't know what's going to be used. At this point, I don't know if they're going to use it. I don't know if this is going to get legs. I don't know if now they're going to take this and say, Brandy, ask her about her daughter's father, or such and such, ask her about the court case. I don't know how this is going to play out. But I know that you and I had multiple conversations leading up to the start of filming. We agreed we would not talk about this.
I don't care. I don't care. You want to paint Jackie as the bad guy, but yet you just immediately said out of your own mouth that you said on camera for Jackie to give you space and this, that, and the third, because that's your real reality, but yet it does not make sense. You needed time to open up to Jackie, but yet you had already been there 2 weeks. She had already been around, because first she tried to make it look like Jackie wasn't around the kid. Then she said no, but Jackie was around the kid on multiple occasions throughout those 2 weeks that she was there. Then she says that with her daughter, it was a different relationship and Jackie was there all the time. But then not like, Chantel, you're all over the place. You're all over the place. You're all over the place. And if you wasn't all over the place, then one could be like, okay, well, yeah, she blindsided you. But no, you're all over the place.
Understand, my daughter.
And at the end of the day, this is Basketball Wives. This is Basketball Wives, not Basketball Mother and Daughter. This is Basketball Wives. The whole reason you was hired on this show was to talk about that. What show did this bitch think she was coming on? Love and Hip Hop? She thought she was coming on fucking Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Like, you are here to talk about that very subject. And if you don't want it to go further, then you shut it down on camera.
Has her father. My sister has her father. Mom, you have a child from a previous relationship, just like I do. Do you want me to come in here and sit down and say, so how are things with Tyrone? Have you talked to him lately? What is the drama like? That would have been so messy. That would have been so crazy and tacky on my part as your daughter. So you can do that to me and I'm just supposed to eat it. Now, you and Dustin both said she's very well versed at this. She knows what she's doing. She knows there are certain things that you just don't, because you never know what's going to be used. So in that moment, that it clicks in my mind and I'm like, here she go. Yet again, you're not protecting me. Yet again, now you're taking me back to my childhood. Now I'm feeling exposed. Now I'm feeling naked. Now I'm feeling like the very person that begged me to come here is going to play in my face for what reason? If we really get to the nitty gritty of things, out of everybody on this cast, technically I am the basketball wife. My father played basketball, but he's a coach now. Nobody else on this cast is married to someone that is currently in the league. That's not me tooting my own horn. If we're talking about the title of this show, that's what it is. You had so much meat and bones and things you could have talked about. What is life like with your husband living here and you living there with the kids? And there's so much we could have talked about. Why would you come on here and bring up my daughter's father when you know the dynamic?
And this is what I mean when I say Chantel puts 20 on 10. Because you taking a situation that it was not talked about again on this show until you brought it up about y'all paternity issues. It was not brought up at all. Jackie had never meant, like, come on now. Come on now. You talking about a scene that we didn't see? And granted, I didn't know what would be shown, but it wasn't spoken about at all.
And you think that I'm not going to feel some sort of way? You know me. So I didn't allow that to ruffle my feathers on camera. I gave her a very, diplomatic answer. Just, we're trying to work through this as a family. Hopefully, the judge will approve the relocation and whatever, as best as I could wrap it up in that moment. While in my mind, I'm spiraling. I'm like, this lady did not just do this. When we wrapped filming, I called my dad, I called my brother, I called my husband. I said, she's on some bullshit. She's on some bullshit. I don't know why she brought me here. I don't know why she would do that. And collectively, they're all like, what? There's no way she got on camera and said that. They did not believe me. I said, on my children, this is what she just got in here and said. And you know you're wrong, which is why you led it with, I don't mean to cry, but you're being messy. You are being so messy right now. For what reason? There was 1,000 things we could have talked about. If you guys sold me on the idea that you're trying to bring back basketball wives, you're trying to bring it back into the fold and talk about the things in the NBA and so on and so forth. Why are we not talking about that? What does my ex and whatever we have going on with my minor daughter have to do with right now, today?
Did you?
My minor daughter. Pay attention to the words that people use and when they use it and why. My minor daughter. But yet you're casted as a basketball wife, and yet we can't talk about your relationships. But now it's my minor daughter. Do you see how Chantel puts 20 on 10? Jackie, why are you bringing up that relationship and my minor daughter? Okay.
Confront your mom after the scene was over?
Absolutely. Are you serious? No, Banna, I did. I said, Mom, so you mean to tell me that we haven't had multiple discussions? Well, I didn't know that. I was just saying it so I could just get it out the way.
Exactly. Did you not, like, did Chantel, did you not just say that Jackie understands how this works? It's going to come up. It's going to come up. Could Jackie have sent Chantel a text saying, hey, I'm going to have to ask this regardless because production already knows, hello, bitch, this is the reason why you were hired. So it's going to come up. And would you rather it come up through me or would you rather it come up through one of these bitches who don't know you and who won't handle it with as much sensitive care? Could Jackie have done that? Sure. But could you have told Jackie up front, hey, I'ma suddenly act like we ain't been seeing each other and I'ma suddenly act like we need to warm up to each other on camera? You could have texted your mother that, but you didn't because you wanted to embarrass her. You came into the scene in season trying to embarrass her. So Chantel, I have no pity for you. You get nothing from me.
One thing that all of us collectively who watch the show and love your mom's personality on the show is your mother knows, your mother's a great reality star.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So we know that your mother has the ability to bring up stuff or say stuff or do stuff for the entertainment of the show. So in that moment, you felt like this, you're playing it up for the cameras.
You're playing it up for the cameras.
I'm sorry. We watched an entire season of Jackie walk away time after time after time after time. And out of all the stuff that Chantel went off to Jackie about on this show, why was this never mentioned? Why was this never mentioned not one time on this show? Not one time was it mentioned. Not even when you sat down with the bottom three to talk about the update with this very situation that you was pissed at Jackie about. It's bullshit. You're lying and it's bullshit. And to me, it's given, you done seen the season, you seen how people played, how people don't fuck with you now after how shit played out. And now you're trying to do some reparative damage. You're trying to go back into the past and do some reparative damage. And no, you guys, this is what happened. It's very much given, well, you guys don't know what happened because they took 6 hours and edited it into a 5-minute scene. It's very much given that. Because we didn't hear you mention this not one time on camera. Not even when you actually mentioned this actual issue with the guy on camera. You don't remember that whole scene, Chantel, where you sat down with the bottom three? Talking about how the judge awarded y'all to whatever? That would have been a perfect time to be like, and see, this is my problem with Jackie. Because Jackie, why would you? Okay.
With me, your blood daughter, who we're supposed to be, the storyline is that we are rebuilding and you know, I'm living in the same building. You're able to, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I do.
That is the plan. And then you come in here and you throw me under the bus like I'm one of your castmates. I don't really understand where you're coming from.
Got it.
But now going forward, you still want my loyalty. You still want me to hold you in this high regard and paint this picture that everything is great between us. I'm not doing that. That's not what you're going to get from me. But even still, even after that, there were still multiple scenes where I tried. I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm just not going to feed into it. I'm just going to, she had a photo shoot. I went and supported her. I didn't come on camera and melt down about that. I didn't say, how dare you do that? I let it die in hopes that they're never going to use this. Like maybe they just won't even pay it no mind and just go on, right? But because this is my first go round as a cast member, I decided ultimately later on in the season to bring it into the fold and to say, listen, so that there's nothing, nobody can come and put no card down on the table for me. This is what I'm dealing with. I am going through a custody case. I am trying to get approved for relocation.
She's so fucking dumb and so green. It's not even funny. Because you literally just stated exactly why Jackie brought it up on camera. We've seen Jackie walk away from scenes with you cursing her out. You chased her around the hotel. You literally pushed her and then she knocked you the fuck out after episodes and episodes and episodes of you cursing her the fuck out. She was trying to protect your dumb ass so that nobody else could bring it up on camera. And then you, because you have such resentment for your mother and hate for her and vitriol for her, you couldn't see past your hate and past your resentment. And so you wanting to control the fucking narrative, you're like, nah, I'm going to take control of my destiny. Ain't nobody going to do this but me. So let me go ahead and bring it up. Dumbass, she was protecting you.
I do have judges and so on and so forth in my life. This is what's happening because I don't know what they're going to use. But I know that you, as the mega incredible reality star that you are, you know the way that this game goes.
And if Carlos was a great interviewer, which we know he's not, he would go and then ask her. So would it have been better if Brandy had brought it up? Would it have been better if Evelyn or Jennifer or one of the other girls brought it up? Could you maybe see how Jackie was trying to protect you in that moment?
So to do me like that, I really couldn't stomach it. And I think that coupled with, and this is also something that I've never talked about publicly, and I don't know if she will feel a way about me doing this, but off camera, on the way to Hawaii, Jackie tried to get Brandy to bring some tea about me from a mutual friend that they had. A mutual friend that Jackie and Brandy had came to Brandy and said, I got some tea on Jackie's daughter. Now, the tea was ice cold. He said I was a lesbian. I'm not. But I can go ahead and put that out there. She tried to get Brandy to bring it into the fold. Brandy told her no at the airport. On the boat scene, where you see her sitting there, she tries to get Brandy to do it again. Now, this time it's on camera. And Brandy's yelling at her, and we're like, what is going on? And Brandy's going, no, Jackie, I'm not doing it. No, Jackie, I'm not doing it. After the fact, it shared with me that, yeah, she wanted me to bring this tea about you to the show. Oh, so you're playing.
Even that, I'm not mad at. Even that, I'm not mad at. Because let's talk about something else other than this, than us and our relationship. Let's talk about something else. Again, and it's going to seem like I'm a Jackie apologist. I'm not. But if we're going off everything that Chantel is saying, it makes sense. Yes, let's bring up this divorce shit. Yes, because at some point, one of these girls is going to bring it up. Would you rather me, a family member, bring it up? Or would you rather one of these bitches who don't know you? Okay, somebody is coming to the table with some tea. Okay, right. Chantel, didn't you just say, let's go ahead and address it before somebody else bring it up? Okay, Brandy, bring it up. Brandy, bring it up. Because what we're not going to sit here and do, okay, because you're talking about the boat scene in Hawaii. We done sat here for 10 episodes of me having to get the fuck up and leave because you just insistent on taking me down and exposing all of our family drama on this TV. Brandy, go ahead and bring up this rumor that ain't nobody going to believe anyways. Just bring it up so we can take the attention off of us and our shit. I could totally see why Jackie would do that. And I agree. I fucking agree. I'm not mad at Jack. Brandy, bring this shit up, please. So this little girl can have something else to talk about before I knock the shit out of her.
In a really dirty game right now. And because you've been doing this so long, you know, I'm going to get her to the point of no return. She's going to give this season all she's got because she really don't have no filter and she really don't care about these cameras and she really doesn't. I'm not articulate in that way. Maybe I'm well spoken, but when I'm mad, I'm mad. I'm not going to sit here and play with nobody. Like, I get that that's what y'all like to do, but I don't like to do that. I told Brandy that in Vegas. Everybody don't play like that. I know that that's what you guys are used to, but I don't play like that.
Chantel, you do play like that because there's plenty of times you could have checked Evelyn and you didn't. That's also how we know that you ain't really about it. You ain't really about it. And that you really don't see it for Jackie because you sat here and you buddied up to Evelyn, who literally was just calling your mother a prostitute last season. And then on top of that, you go to the finale party and Evelyn looks you straight in the face. She damn near breathing distance from you and says, that's your friend? That's your friend? Talking about Brittany. That's who you align with? And that could have been a perfect moment for you to check Evelyn, but you knew not to. You knew not to. You'll buck up on Jackie, but you ain't bucking up on nobody else on this cast. Bring Chantel back for next season because I cannot wait for Evelyn to get in her ass. And I want to see how she handles herself. Because there's been plenty of times this season where we've seen Brittany, as much as we don't like her, we've seen Brittany go against the grain and fall on the sword for Chantel while Chantel stayed silent when it came to her quote-unquote best friends on the show. Because she ain't about it like that. She ain't about it like that. She only got that energy for Jackie. So she picks and chooses. So why you want to say, oh, I'm well-spoken, but I'm not really articulate like that? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because in order to be articulate, that means that you have to carefully craft and choose your words. And you knew how to do that when it came to some of the bigger bosses on the show, some of the bigger bullies on the show. So you have to question everything that people say. Don't just let them feed you a story. Because Chantel might as well be a white woman up here crying if we just going to buy into everything that she's saying. You could have trauma. You could not have the best relationship with your mother. You could even have felt neglected as a child. And all of that could still be some bullshit when it's aligned with the actual truth of and the reality of the situation. You put 20 on 10 and you came into the season with a motive and an agenda to take Jackie down. That much is just that. And I'm sorry. Come episode 11, and it's been 11 episodes of me running out of scenes because my daughter keeps trying to fight me. My daughter keeps calling me out my name, calling me all types of bitch holes and trying to take me down. You damn right. At this point, hell, you a cast member. Let's talk about some other shit going on. Brandy, somebody brought you a rumor? Bring that shit up so we can stop focusing on our family dynamic and our family drama. And Brandy, you the one that have such a problem with me running out of scenes, right? To the point where now you shading me on Instagram stories, right? Because we're not going to forget about how Brandy posted to her Instagram story about how Jackie is always leaving scenes and how she's getting favor with production and treated better. She posted some shit shading Jackie, which was like a post about like, oh, coworkers who get preferential treatment at work. So Brandy, since you want to go ahead and shade me, how about you be the one to go ahead and bring up these rumors? So that I can stop leaving the scene. Because if y'all focus on something else and talk about something else, then I won't have a reason to leave the scene. So that's a win-win.
Like that. So maybe this isn't the platform for me. Maybe this isn't the space for me because I'm not about to play with y'all. That's not. Listen. Once you guys finally see, as the viewers, me get to Hawaii, now I have you bringing up my daughter's father. I have you trying to bring messy tea via Brandy to this platform. I have later on in the Hawaii trip, you telling Jennifer that you would have grandparents' rights to my kids. Now, how messy is that of you to say?
That's the only thing. That's the only thing. That's what she should have focused in on. You focused on all this other dumb shit, but you're not focused on what really matters. The grandparents' rights. That would have been the only thing where it's like, okay, Chantel, go off. That's what you should have focused on.
When you know that I'm in court right now. All of these things are coming at me. And I'm still sitting here trying to take it like, do not take it there with this lady. I don't care how you feel. I don't care. Like, I made a promise to myself, to my husband, to my children, to my father before I came on this show. I'm not going to get on here and show my ass. I'm not going to do it. I've watched.
Aw, look at what you did. Aw, you're a little liar.
You do it season after season. I don't want to go along with that narrative. I don't want people to say, oh, the apple don't fall far from a tree and everything that they've been saying about me now. I never wanted this. But I'm also not going to let nobody play in my face. So if that means that this is what I have to wear and y'all don't understand where I'm coming from, that's okay. That's okay with me because I know what led up to this point. And the cast members and castmates and producers and so they all saw it in real time. So if you want to come out now at this point and offer Jackie an apology because of the way that this fight was relayed, I understand it and I respect it. But to say that y'all didn't see in real time what she was doing to me on and off camera, this has been a tough pill to swallow, man. This is crazy.
So it sounds to me, again, going back to the dynamic between you and your mom, it sounded to me like
it's the fact we got one more hour of this shit.
Like you said earlier, the little girl resurfaced again when your mother caught you off guard by bringing up something on camera that you two talked about not bringing up.
Absolutely.
And then obviously your mother allegedly hearing something, told Brandy to bring it up. Brandy said no. Brandy tells you. Is that when you started to unravel and the loyalty was gone? Because is that when you started to say, well, Brandy, Jackie said this about you?
Well, what people don't understand, and they always say, well, why didn't you protect her when Brittany was going in on her? I'm not protecting nobody that's not protecting me. This whole time that we're here in Vegas, you're on the phone with me when we're not filming. I wasn't staying at the house. I got house separate from them so that I could be with my kids. I brought them to Vegas. You're on the phone with me between these scenes. Yeah, because Brandy this and Brandy that. You're talking down on her no matter what you said. I don't even have to repeat what you said, right? But then you get on camera and you're grabbing Brandy by the hand. Sis, I know you've been dealing with a lot. And I know. Now that shit is rubbing me the wrong way. You're playing a very dirty game. If you don't want to get in between it, then don't get in between it. There's 8 other women here that you could talk to, but you want to sit here and buddy up to Brandy when you already know I feel some sort of way about this person. Why?
Because that's the job, boo. That's the job. That's the job. Which is what I said the entire time we watched this on Patreon. She wants to conflate her mommy-daughter issues with a job. Mommy-daughter, castmate. Mommy-daughter, castmate. 2 different, like you trying to conflate reality with reality television. That's not the way that this works.
Because if the roles was reversed and I did that, if this was last season when Evelyn called you whatever she called you and brought up whatever she brought, and I was doing that with her, you would feel some sort of way.
You did that this season. You did that this season. You literally buddied up with Evelyn this season. From the very first fucking scene, before y'all even got to Vegas, you was already buddied up with Evelyn. What are you talking about, Chantel? You was already buddied up with Evelyn before y'all even got to Vegas, before you and Brandy even fell out. What the fuck are you talking about? Instead of coming in with all of this smoke for Jackie, you should have came in with all of that smoke for Evelyn and her daughter.
But I'm behind the scenes telling you, yeah, that's real tacky of her, and I just can't. You're playing a very messy game. And maybe you weren't prepared for somebody that really knows you to come on here and work alongside of you. And maybe when you offered me or you know, brought this opportunity to my door, you weren't prepared for the way that I was coming. But anybody that knows me knows I really do not play like that. I don't play for these cameras. I could honestly care less about any of. I could have been ducked off living on a farm.
So why weren't you? Because we didn't beg for you to come up here. We didn't say, "Oh my God, I wonder how it would be if Chantel was on the show." No, why you here then?
Wasn't bothering nobody. What did you bring me here for? Just to do this? So now I've become one of your castmates, and you're willing to throw me under the bus and do me dirty like you're willing to do everybody else. But you want me to show you loyalty? You want me to stand up for you because you and Brittany got into it? No, I'm actually not going to do that because respectfully, she's the only one spoke up for me and said anything. Whether I met her 10 minutes ago or I've known her 10 years, that's who spoke up for me. Why are you so mad at her? You're getting defensive because now you see somebody else that is not just your daughter that's saying this. Now somebody that don't really know neither one of y'all like that is saying, Jackie, something's wrong with this picture. I don't really like what's going on here. And now you want to.
And we already know Brittany was projecting. But Chantel is internalizing the situation. And see, this is what I mean when I say Chantel, just because you experience something, it could be some bullshit. Because Chantel's experience of Brittany speaking up for her is, oh, this is an innocent bystander who just happened to see something going wrong between mother and daughter, and the mother's wrong. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Brittany is not an innocent bystander. She's a bystander who projected her own issues onto both of y'all.
To jump over couches and carrying on. But you can sit here with the same person who, now, mind you, to give you a bit of backstory on the Brandy thing, people say that I started poking at her. What they didn't show you guys when we were in that room, and I said this to Ming, I said this to Denise, and whoever, I think maybe Evelyn was in the room. I said, I'm going to ask Brandy personally when we sit down at the dinner table, like, what's tea? Why would you invite Jennifer here when you know her and Evelyn's dynamic? Mm-hmm. Now I get everybody saying, well, why would you get in? You didn't know. We're filming a TV show.
You saying that the camera didn't show that you were going to ask the question, that doesn't take away from the fact that you still did and you still got involved. This is how dumb she is. She thought she explained herself away, but you didn't. Just telling us, the audience, that, oh, y'all didn't see when I said right before it happened that I was going to do it. Dumbass, it still doesn't take away from the fact that you did it.
If I don't say nothing, y'all gonna say, oh, you're sitting there quiet as a church mouse. Do you get what I'm saying? You damned if you know me, I get you damned if you do, and you damned if you don't.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
I'm saying, I said out my mouth, I'm gonna ask Brandy directly. I'm not sitting here being messy with y'all. That's not what I'm doing at all. I think it's crazy that she did that. I'm gonna ask her directly. Before I had the opportunity to do that, Brandy comes barreling around the corner with all the smoke for everybody in the room. I get it. You feel some sort of way. You feel like we was around the corner talking about you. But as for me, I said I was gonna ask you directly. You just didn't give me that opportunity to. So once we all make our way out to the living room,
so again, how is that Brandy's fault? Y'all were premeditating and Brandy caught you premeditating. Does this bitch take accountability for anything?
Only person out of everybody that was in the room you have smoke for is me.
Yes, because you what? Chantel, bitch, did you not just set y'all go? She pissing me off. Go like the video, please. Go like the video.
Come and get your nut and different stuff. It's alright. I'ma get some pictures today. No, it's fine. I'ma get some pictures today. It's so fine. I'ma get some pictures today. Be outside. I'ma get some pictures today. 'Cause I'ma get some pictures today. I'm gonna get some pictures today. 'Cause I'ma get some pictures today. I'm gonna get some pictures today. 'Cause I'ma get some pictures today. I'm gonna get some pictures today. 'Cause I'ma get some pictures today. I'm gonna get some pictures today. Dumb, keep sucking it, keep dumb, keep rocking it, keep dumb, keep grabbing it, this pussy, keep dumb, keep sucking it, keep dumb, keep rocking it, keep dumb, keep grabbing it, this pussy, 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 pussy pop, pussy, pussy pop, yeah. Pussy, pussy, pussy pop, pussy, pussy pop, keep dumb, keep sucking it, keep dumb, keep rocking it, keep dumb, keep grabbing it, this pussy, keep making it hot.
Chantel, you dumb bitch. Did you not literally just fucking say, you brought up the idea to confront Brandy? And it just so happened that before you could go confront Brandy, Brandy heard y'all talking about you getting ready to confront her. What is wrong with this bitch? She just has no accountability.
Because I asked a very logical question. Why did you invite her here? Is this not the same thing that you did last season?
It being a logical question has nothing to do with the fact that you needed to mind your business. Yes, we on a TV show, but girl, understand why Brandy had all the smoke for you. You can understand that. Oh, somebody got to move the plot along, but you can't understand why Brandy's mad at you. No, you didn't. And then in turn, you blame Jackie.
When you invited Jackie to Brooke's event. So you do have a track record of doing this. And I am asking you what's up. But I didn't go picking with her. And regardless, if in that moment
you did,
my mom wants to see that I can hold my own, I can. If this is an audition for you and you just sitting there, she's sitting there with a water bottle full of Tito's like this, watching like everybody else. Okay, you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to insert yourself. You don't got to ask Brandy what her issue is or why she got all this smoke from me and nobody else. Maybe this was my freshman hazing and y'all wanted to see how I would handle it. I don't care what they showed on that episode. I handled myself very well. I get how it was cut and sliced together, but I think that we walked away from there with everybody on the same.
Cut and again, notice the word she's using, how it was cut and sliced together. She's trying to imply that things were left out that would make her look better when no, because if that was the case, you would have told us that. And then the things that you did just tell us about what would have made you look better, it made you look the goddamn same. What y'all didn't see was that before I was about to ask Brandy, I was in the room telling them I was about to ask Brandy. And she just confronted me before I had a chance to ask her. Because she overheard y'all. The way that it was cut and spiced together. I'm glad I paused right here because this goofy ass look on her face is exactly what I think of her.
Page that, okay, this ain't go back down. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. That was the general consensus. You understand?
Oh, I totally understand. Listen, when I look at basketball wise, the reason why it's such an interesting subculture.
I don't care what you have to say, Carlos.
I wasted hundreds on curly.
I said, I can handle myself. I can take care of this. It's not a problem. Like, you don't even got to worry about it. If you don't want to do it on your own, you don't have to ask me for permission, right? You see her coming for me for no apparent reason.
But, okay, is this basketball daughters or is it basketball wives? You want to sit and be big dog and say, oh, not to toot my own horn, but I mean, I am the only basketball wife. I mean, that is the title of the show, right? So act like it, bitch. Act like it. That's another reason fans can't get jiggy with Chantel. 1 minute you want her to be your mother. Next minute you need space. Even though y'all was chilling and giggling and in cahoots the 2 weeks that you had been already living there. And y'all was already together in Sacramento with your other child. But now you need space on camera. Then 1 minute is, oh, show up for me. Then it's, no, don't show up for me. I'm an adult. Like, make up your fucking mind, bitch.
And I think where the lines get blurred is that people are saying, well, you put boundaries in place. I put boundaries in place for things like her not telling my personal business. I put boundaries in place for her not showing up to my apartment all hours of the day and night, coming in. Like, those are the boundaries I'm speaking of. This has nothing to do with this lady that you've known for all of these years, keep coming for me for no apparent reason. You're sitting within arm's reach of this lady. You sharing this bread basket. Like, you are sending me. You are infuriating me at this point. Because why are you just got off the phone calling. If you don't want to involve yourself, don't involve yourself. But don't sit here and fake kiss Brandy's ass on this camera and make me look crazy.
That has nothing to do with you, though. You involved yourself in Jackie and Brandy's mess. That's what you did, Chantel. Jackie is going to do whatever she has to do on this show. She's not going to completely alienate herself, which is why Brandy even said later on, listen, I don't give a damn if Jackie like me or not, because they all understand how it works. They may not like each other, but they're co-workers. And what you try to do is you try to involve yourself in the middle of that. Jackie, you don't really like Brandy. Why are you telling me you don't like Brandy? And then now on camera, you like Brandy. That has nothing to do with you, Chantel. Hence why when Jackie said, Chantel, tell me your problems with me personally and how I've affected you. That's why you immediately brought up Brandy. Like, you're creating situations out of nothing and out of shit that has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you.
If this is how you feel about Brandy, just hold that. There's 8 other women here, Ming, Ty, Denise, Brittany, Evelyn, Shawnee, that you could talk to, pick with, converse with, etc. Why are you going for the person that you know I feel some sort of way about, and that according to you off camera, you feel some sort of way about? But I look crazy?
Because that's the person that she's the closest to on the show. Jackie may not like none of them bitches, but she's closest to Jennifer and Brandy on the show.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So then to get to the lounge where she eventually jumps over the couch, as soon as I walked into the scene, she grabbed Brandy's hand. She said, sis, you know, I wanted to bring us all here tonight because, you know, I know that you've been going through a lot. That, if you see my face,
Yeah.
I know you lying. Like, I get that this is a show. I get you've been doing this for so long and everything. But if this is how you were going to play, why did you call me here? You could have done this with any of the other girls. Why would you bring me here knowing that our relationship is not the best already? Did you think I was going to feed into it? Did you think that I had changed overnight and that I had become someone that was going to play right along with you? You know I'm not. So
Chantel just doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. She keeps trying to victimize herself. When Chantel, have you ever stopped to think that maybe it was as simple as, Chantel, I want you on the show because I'm ready to retire and I want to pass the torch on to you. I want to help set you up. Chantel, have you ever stopped to think that maybe it was, hey, Chantel, you constantly asking me and Dougie for money or asking us to help you out. Here, let's help set up your own legacy. Like you're trying to, whatever vision Chantel had for the show, I promise you, I don't think Jackie had the same vision. I don't even think they had a conversation about it. I think Jackie literally was just trying to either set up her retirement, and she was trying to put Chantel in a good place. And Chantel on her own, just like with her idea and fantasy of who she feels like a mother should be, Chantel has ran with this whole illusion that she created, and she's mad that Jackie's not playing the role that she should in her illusion, in her fantasy. That's literally all Chantel, like that's her entire storyline, that's her entire life. Chantel has a version of reality that she's created, and because the people in her life are not playing the roles that she created for them to play, she's upset and she's angry and she's resentful. Chantel, just because Jackie gave you a position on the show and talked to producers and told them to hire you, that does not mean that she's meant to come on this show and y'all have the best mommy-daughter relationship. That does not mean that she's going to be up your ass. That does not mean any of that. All it means is simply, I talk to the people that at my job so that you could get hired. Come on now. In what other world would this make sense? Because if this was Real Housewives of Atlanta and we talking about Kenya and Britt, the same way people was like, oh, well, at what job can you go threatening people with a gun? Britt should have been fired. Well, we can apply that same logic here. At what world are two people, mother and daughter, hired at a job, and then the mother is supposed to stick up for every situation that the daughter goes through? No, if we're working at a place of employment and the daughter is having problems with other coworkers, sure, I could say things, but I'm not going to get too involved. What if the daughter has problems with management and they want to fire her? I'm supposed to just step in and that's my motherfucking daughter and die. And if my daughter go, I got no. You wanted this job, and whether you wanted it or not, bitch. If you're always in my pockets and you asking for money, and I set you up with a job, like here, what you make of it is what you make of it. Like you're conflating issues, Chantel. You're conflating issues because you want to position yourself as a victim and you want to position Jackie as a monster. And it's just, I'm telling you, all of this comes from Jackie not playing the role that Chantel created in her head for her version and her fantasy, her illusion of what her life she wants it to be. I'm sorry. She resents Jackie because Jackie is not playing the role that she wants her to play.
It was challenging for you to I now have a greater understanding of this. On one end, your mother in real life, you know her.
yes.
And you know the actions, the mannerisms, all of your mom, plus the conversations you guys are having on camera.
Like, come on, Carlos. Come on. If you was a good fucking interviewer, a good fucking host, you would say to this bitch. But Chantel, you do understand that while this is reality, this is still a show. This is still a job. So it's like, yes, that's your mother in real life, but this is a situation where she's now your coworker. And at the end of the day, you were brought on here to do a job, not brought on here to be Jackie's daughter. Because this is Basketball Wives, remember?
And then once the cameras are on, you're seeing a very different person, courtesy of what you're saying to me off camera isn't matching things on camera. And because you're like, I'm here to be my authentic self, you're leaving there confused and you just don't know how to navigate through this. And then all of this, obviously.
Chantel is just not good for reality TV. She's just not good for reality TV. The same way Chantel is not translating is the same way that Shamia didn't translate on TV. Because it's like, you can have all of the things that a show may need or that reality. No, you can have all the things. Like, Chantel can fit the perfect description of what Basketball Wives should be about, but it doesn't mean that she fits the description of what a reality TV star is. And that's the disconnect as well. Like, granted, you are on this show, and yes, you are the title down. But like, does that mean that you're entertaining? Does that mean that you know how to play the role? Because yes, it's reality TV, but there's a thing called staging. There's a thing called setting up the scene. You don't want to play by any of those rules. So why the fuck are you on a reality TV show? Why are you here? You want to come in and do your own thing.
Has been built up from the first scene.
Absolutely.
Bring up your estranged relationship with your daughter's father, and then everything just sort of like piled up. And you probably felt like you were in the Twilight Zone.
I was spiraling. Now, mind you, I'm 9 months postpartum at this point. I'm going through postpartum depression. I had so much on me, and that does in no way excuse my behavior. But I'm hoping that.
Here we go. I'm postpartum. I'm 9 months out. No, you were 9 months out when you met Jackie. By the time it came to Hawaii, that was like months later. So it's over a year at that point. Like, cut it out. It's always an excuse. Everybody always got an excuse for everything they go through. Bitch, everybody always going through something. Nobody gives a fuck that you had a baby and then now you feel like whatever you feel after you done had the baby. Oh, well, you're not the only person. You're not going to be the last. At what point is Chantel accountable for Chantel? At what point are you accountable for you, Chantel? Because not once did we hear you say, oh, I'm going to therapy. Oh, I'm working on this. Oh, I'm doing the healing. Oh, I'm taking steps to get to a better place. Not once did we hear you say this.
This interview will help people better understand where my mindset was. It didn't just happen overnight. We're filming over the course of several months through the holidays and everything else. And at every turn, you're taking the opportunity to play in my face. And never once off camera did you come to me and just say, you know what, I was dead wrong. Like, I apologize. I'm gonna do better going forward. Never, not once.
Did she ever tell you, like, girl, that's some TV shit?
No. Brandy, the only one that told me that. So it was very hard for me to accept. And I think that when I finally get to Hawaii and I'm coming in on 10 and I'm asking her, did you call me impressionable? That came from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
The whole cast and production, everybody else is staying in the same house. When these cameras are not rolling, there are a lot of conversations that happen off camera. You guys are all conjoined in here in this living room talking about these scenarios, and you're telling this group of women who don't know me, and these producers, well, yeah, because Shani, she's very impressionable, and so you just gotta, kind of just keep an eye out, basically. What?
And that's what caused her to go from 0 to 10, chasing Jackie around a hotel, trying to whoop her ass. That is what caused her to bring up Doug in the marriage. And that's what caused her to go sit with her enemies and say, oh, you think she has a real marriage? No. That's what caused her to go ahead and push Jackie and then get knocked the fuck out. The word impressionable.
Hold on. Out of all of your kids, you know that I'm the least impressionable. You're saying things that you know are going to send me off. And if that was you wearing your producer hat and hoping to get good TV, here we are.
When your mom kept leaving scene by scene.
Don't piss me off.
No, I don't. Again, I'm asking because, again, even on my recap, and I'm glad you watched it, I kept saying, I
don't care what you had to say.
I was spiraling. I'm not even gonna hold you. Watching that back, I'm like, girl, you was melting down. I was just losing it because I just couldn't believe, like, you really gonna get on here and play. And out of all of the years, you never get up and walk away. Everybody knows you are willing to engage. You're gonna throw French fries, drinks, whatever. You're gonna sit here and do this back and forth all day. But now that you know, wait a minute, I got it right where I want her. She's so mad, she ain't gonna be able to articulate herself. She's gonna be sitting here spot. I'm just gonna get up and walk out.
I took that as I'm not gonna give the audience a moment between me and my daughter.
Okay, well, that's not
so you're saying that was, because that's how we all took it. We all took it that she is walking away from the audience seeing a dispute between mother and daughter. That's how we took it.
If in your heart you really do believe that, why do you keep coming back to film if you know that I'm going to be here and you know that this is going to be the topic? If you really felt like I'm...
And this is why I said, she said to Brandy, bring up those lesbian rumors. Somebody brought that to you. Go ahead and bring that up so we can change the topic of conversation. That is why, Chantel. But again, you have so much hate and resent in your heart because Jackie didn't play the role that you created in your fantasy that you cannot see that. I'm showing up because I'm hoping somebody else is going to be the topic today. I'm showing up because I'm contractually obligated to. I'm showing up because this is my fucking job. The same job where I went to my boss and told them they needed to hire you so you could get a paycheck and get out my fucking pockets. Okay? I'm contractually obligated to because this is the job where I tried to set you up for a future after I retired from this platform so it could keep going. What's not clicking, Chantel?
I'm not engaging in this in any way, shape, fashion, or form. I'm not going to discuss me and my child and so on and so forth. Why do you continue to engage? Why do you continue to come and show up? Never once did you say, if Shannon's going to be there, I'm not going to be there. If this is going to be the topic of discussion, I'm not filming. You can pull your
Carlos, again, this is why I say Carlos, self-proclaimed king, is a terrible fucking interviewer. He's terrible. He's terrible. Because push back, Carlos. Again, this is where you say, well, Chantel, come on now, as a producer, you know it does not work like that. You know she's contractually obligated to be there. Maybe she was hoping that, hey, on a cast of 6, 8, 7, 9, however many women, that somebody else was going to be the topic of conversation. Chantel, do you maybe think that maybe that's why she wanted Brandy to bring up the lesbian rumors? Because it would give the group a chance to focus on something else, a different topic other than your dynamic. But no, Carlos is not going to push back because he wants to suck her dick like he does all of his guests.
You can be that one. You have earned that position on this show to be able to call the shots and kind of say how you want things to go. Now, you may not be executive producer, but you are Jackie Christie. You showing up just like I'm showing up. But I'm the one that looks crazy because you get me right to that point where I start to ask the very logical questions, and you know where I'm going with this. Did you call me impressionable? When we were in Vegas, was you talking about Brandy? She knows I'm a very logical person. I'm going to ask, and I know everybody was eating me up because I used rhetorical wrong. I did. I did.
But you're a very logical person. You very well spoken. Okay.
I did watching it back. I said, well, I didn't go to college, so y'all got that. Y'all ate me up. Okay, fair enough. That's all right. I need to do better next time. But the point is that because you know that you got me to this point of like, she knows me in a lot of ways, right? You know that I'm not going to be able to properly articulate myself because now I'm mad. Now I'm not worried about story. I'm not worried about buttoning this up. I'm not worried about explaining it to the viewers. Now I'm just looking at you, mother to daughter, like, are you serious right now?
I now have a greater understanding of all of this. I really, I don't know why all of a sudden this hit me too.
I don't care what hit him because as far as I'm concerned, he need to be hit by a big black truck. Okay, a big Matt black truck.
Millions of women experience hair.
To be hit over the goddamn head with a sledgehammer. Because I don't know if he sucks their dick because it's some inner child shit, or if it's because, oh, well, maybe if I make the guests feel like it's an open space, then they're going to want to come back. Or maybe it's because he just wants to be liked by everybody. I don't know what it is, but he's a terrible fucking interviewer. Terrible. Terrible host, terrible interviewer. Like, stick to producing. Stick to producing. Because you're not going to push back on nothing that she's saying. So anybody who sit on your couch is just right. Just because it's their truth that they're speaking. I don't care how true it is to you, bitch. That's not what happened in reality.
You're playing in my face.
1,000%.
And you know this is going to get me to react.
And you know that this is going to send me off. You are literally, and the thing is that she didn't get it.
Just because something sends you off doesn't mean that the feelings and actions are warranted. It does not mean that you were right. You know how many things send people off? You could be on a public transportation bus. Fucking New York subway. We all know Showtime. If you're from New York, you already know about Showtime. Motherfuckers get on the subway and they start dancing, they start playing music. Or hell, you just on a public bus and somebody playing music from their speakerphone out loud. That could annoy the fuck out of you. That could send you off. But does that give you a reason to get up and slap the shit out of them? And no. It's a lot of things that tick us off. But then that's when self-control comes into play. That's when the amount of healing that you've done on yourself comes into play. So just because you're saying, these are my experiences, this is my truth, that was going to send me off, that doesn't mean that you're justified. That doesn't mean that you were right.
And walk away one time. This was multiple times, repeatedly in Hawaii. Now, off camera and on camera, all of the castmates are saying the same thing. That's messed up. As a mother, I wouldn't do that. Before any fight happened, you guys are acknowledging in real time what is wrong with this. That you don't want to be held.
That's because they didn't have 100% the version of what actually was going on.
Accountable, or you don't want to have real conversations, so you're choosing to get up and walk away. Before I got to the point of speaking to her so disrespectfully on that last night in Hawaii, I was actually very calm. I know it may not translate that way on camera. It may be sliced different. I approach these conversations very calmly. I started asking very logical questions because I'm just trying to understand.
No, Chantel, why are you trying to rewrite history? Oh my God. Every time Jackie walked away, you called her goofy and dumb and you went off. Then on the finale episode, the episode before the finale, you sat down with her on the rooftop first. And Jackie came in trying to say, hey, Vanna, hey. And then you looked at her and said, that's what we doing? So that's what we doing? Your energy was already nasty. Then you immediately brought up Brandy. And then even in the hotel room, it was the same shit. You come in the hotel room already nasty, like, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, because as far as you, I'm done with you. We ain't got to do this no more. So why go sit with her? Again, no accountability.
And why are you doing this?
And we ain't even reached the end. We got about 30 more minutes before we reach the end, but I promise you, she probably going to end this. At some point, she's going to cry, and then Carlos is going to make that stupid ass Flintstone type of face. And I'm going to show you when he makes it, because he does it every interview. He does it every interview.
You have all of these women sitting here at this table that you could play this game with. Why are you doing this with me? And do you understand how far this can really go? Maybe in her mind, she thought, this is best case scenario. Me and my daughter can go back and forth. We can have our little spat, and it's never going to go further than that. Not at 32. Not as a wife and a mother of my own.
But also not with, and I'm going to say this, also not with the built up, unhealed aggression that you have. And I think that's the missing piece of everything.
Unhealed, because she refuses to heal it. Chantel, you and I are the same age. I'm 32. Go deal with your trauma. It's yours.
But I want, and again, I'm not here to defend Judith, I'm here to have a real conversation and really extract what you're giving to me, because I now see things very differently. I now understand, as an unhealed woman,
yes,
who's on a show with your mother,
yes,
who is the face of that show to me,
yes,
who plays that game perfectly.
Flawlessly.
Your mother's a legend in this game.
Yes,
Yeah, she's amazing.
absolutely.
I now understand how an unhealed daughter can recognize that and feel confused. And now, as we're
so, can you recognize that an unhealed daughter needs to go take her ass to therapy? And if not therapy, then you do the work on yourself. Chantel, do the shadow work.
In Hawaii, and you guys are in your mother's hotel room. When you walked into that room, Chantel, what was your sole intention that you wanted?
And here's what I'm talking about. Why does everybody jump to the hotel room? I'm tired of everybody just jumping over the rooftop part. The rooftop is where it started. That created the tension for the entire episode. The rooftop is where it started. And then we just going to jump over the fact that when Chantel sat down with the bottom three, she literally said, I'm coming to Hawaii to put belt to ass. Oh, you talking about with Jackie? You coming to put belt to Jackie's ass? So she came to Hawaii with those intentions. Stop jumping to Jackie hitting Chantel. Because y'all are completely ignoring Jackie and Chantel sitting down first on the rooftop. And then Jackie walking away and Chantel chasing her all around the hotel, from upstairs to downstairs, like she was ready to fight her.
To get out of that conversation with your mother?
I didn't go in there really with any intention. You have to understand that the confrontation that happened in the hotel room came right after us sitting down on the terrace, and I had on a black student. She walked away and said, when the teacher is ready, or whatever, the student will appear, whatever it is that she said. I know she was reading that where she walked in that scene, because she wanted to come across very poised and like in exactly how she came across. You understand what I'm saying? I know that this was prepared in her mind. So when I went up to the room,
oh, he doing that face now.
I'm like, girl, what you got for me today? Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I can't stand when he does that face. I cannot stand when Carlos does that face.
I know that this was prepared in her mind. So when I went up to the room, I'm like, girl, what you got for me today? Like, I've already mentally checked out in my mind, because you're playing. You called me up here to literally play into whatever narrative it is that you want these viewers to go with.
She called you up there and she gave you multiple opportunities to say, hey, what is it that you want to say to me?
And send me on my way. We're not going to get to any real resolution here. We're not going to get to the nitty gritty of how we got to that point this season. So when she's asking me, well, baby, what is it? And everything that you and Dustin were saying, you're not asking me because you really want to know. You know what happened. You were here. I'm not talking about my childhood. I'm talking about right now on this season today. Well, we weren't cool before this.
Sometimes all you got to do is let a person speak and they will reveal themselves. Chantel literally, okay, because this whole time that everybody online going back and forth and Jackie was this type of mother. And Chantel literally just said, I'm not talking about my childhood. I'm talking about this season and what you've been doing on this show. Exactly. So when the rest of us like, Chantel, you ain't been through shit, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And that's why we've been saying all season long, Chantel, it does not make sense. Because Chantel literally just confirmed and said it out of her own mouth. I ain't even talking about my childhood. I'm talking about on this season. Exactly.
I don't know. You tell me, were we cool before this? Because if we were so cool, why would you do that to me? It's not adding up. And now I am spiraling. Now I do feel crazy. Now I do feel all of these things because what? No. Mm-mm.
So when she said get up and leave, and that's a much better exit.
Again, you're in your producer role. You don't care that I'm your daughter. You don't care that I'm really for real upset in real life. You don't care all of the things that you've done to me leading up to this. Now you're sitting here and you're producing this scene. That's a much better exit. Okay, sweetie. Like, yeah, I am saying things to her, but do you not realize that she's saying things back? Like being said out of her own mouth, Jackie cannot be bullied. I was not bullying her. I treated her in a way that watching it as a daughter, I shouldn't, correct? I understand that. But this person is not innocent. She's not sitting here like this meek mother that's like, why would you do this to me? Why are you treating me like this? You playing in my face like I'm a stranger in the street, so I'm treating you the same way. Why do I have to treat you? Why do I have to parent the parent? Why do I have to treat you with more respect than you give me?
Again, question everything that people say and listen to what they say the first time. Chantel is throwing out all of these buzzwords and all. Again, you have people that genuinely have gone through shit, and then you have other people who ain't going through shit, but they want to make it seem like they've gone through something, so they adopt other people's trauma. Based off of everything that Chantel has said within this interview, none of this warranted her behavior. And she literally just said, none of this was about my life. It was about this season. So all that happened this season was what? Chantel felt blindsided because Jackie brought up her baby daddy before the other girls had a chance to, in an effort to protect her. Then she felt blindsided because she told Brandy to bring on rumors about a lesbian or some shit like that. Again, trying to protect her because the whole goal is to deflect from us. And the third thing, she felt like, Jackie, you don't like Brandy, so why are you pretending like you like her on camera? Those are the only, like, out of this whole entire interview, those are the three things. Because Chantel admittedly said out her mouth, my issues towards Jackie this season wasn't based off my life, it was based off this season. Those are the only three things she said. And none of that warranted everything she's saying now. All of these buzzwords. Go ahead, listen to her again. Let me back it up.
To this. Now you're sitting here and you're producing this scene. That's a much better exit. Okay, sweetie. Like, yeah, I am saying things to her, but do you not realize that she's saying things back? Like being said out of her own mouth, Jackie cannot be bullied. I was not bullying her. I treated her in a way that watching it as a daughter, I shouldn't, correct? I understand that. But this person,
listen to her. Listen to what she says.
Person is not innocent. She's not sitting here like this meek mother that's like, why would you do this to me? Why are you treating me like this? You play in my face like I'm a stranger in the street, so I'm treating you the same way. Why do I have to treat you? Why do I have to parent the parent? Why do I have to treat you with more respect than you give me? I understand now through months of healing and
why do I have to treat you with more respect than you give me? Why do I have to parent the parent? She's literally all of the buzzwords, all of the things that people will say, but it does not apply, Chantel. It does not apply to what you went through this season. It does not fucking apply. But people are going to focus on that and be like, you're right, you're right, you're right. Even though your reasoning and your logic is bullshit, I'm just going to ignore that and just focus on you saying these buzzy trend words. And yes, you're totally right. No, Chantel, you're wrong.
And therapy and all these things that I have a burden to be better.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that now. But in that moment, oh, lady, oh my, that was a really heavy night for me. That was a really dark time. And I know that I didn't come to that place out of nowhere. And I didn't go into that scene. I didn't even come onto this season with the intent to embarrass Jackie, to trick her out of her spot.
Yes, you did. And I'm not even going to repeat myself. You did. And you revealed that you did.
All these things that people are saying, that was never my intention.
Calling her Jackie, is that y'all thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why I'm like, now mind you, y'all want to pick and choose. Ming get on live and she called her mom Vicky. And don't nobody blink twice. But when I call Jackie, no, I call Jackie at Christmas time. That's just art. Like, it's never.
That's all like now to his child.
Yes,
okay.
It's never been in a disrespectful way. I understand watching that. It's like, oh, she was yelling at her and she called her Jackie. I answered the phone when we on good terms. Jackie, what is it now? Like, that's just our dynamic.
Okay. Yeah. I want to put that. Oh my girl. Okay, so obviously, listen.
We don't care that much about the name part.
When I saw the moment of you and your mother's altercation, and I'm being very honest with you, and I even said this in my recap, I felt awful. Mm-hmm. I felt awful as a viewer watching that.
I don't care how you feel.
The beauty of this podcast because I am a producer.
Balled up your fist and tried to aim for my head. Like,
wait, actually, let me go back because it proves why I don't like Carlos.
So at that moment, did you feel like when you walked back
that room and went to my,
they all called me like, now what really went down? Because it is cloudy. So I will say that does happen. Yes. So at that moment, did you feel like when you walked back and told them she hit me, is because you thought she hit you, or did the memory of the She didn't make contact with you. Like, what was your thought
I think
process?
it was all very blurry for me, and I think that I led with she swung on me.
Yes,
and
I'm
I
sorry.
think
Yes.
that it morphed into
Yes, you
she
did.
really put her hands on me because I was just in disbelief that you really balled up your fist and tried
No accountability. No accountability.
to aim for my head like I was a stranger in the street simply because I pushed you off of me. And I feel like that's what the viewers are. They're being willfully ignorant in this way. You put your hand on my elbow, knowing that I'm upset, whether you were trying to usher me out the room or not, whether I should have left out the door or not. As my mother, you know that I'm upset. You know that touching me is going to send me off. You're trying to not sun me, but you're trying to come on, do you get what I'm saying? And because I've already made up in my mind that this is the game that you're playing and this is the narrative that you're going with, like, watch out, don't do that. You get what I'm saying? I see now how that push looks like. Well, girl, you started it and you deserve everything that was coming to you. That is not how I felt in that moment. And that's still not how I feel today. Should I have pushed her? Absolutely not. I don't want my kids to put their hands on me. I want my kids to treat me that way? No. But will I do to my kids what my mom has done to me? No. So I guess we'll never know. But I know that in that moment, I felt like, don't touch me. Like, you hear me say, don't touch me. Now, whether or not y'all want to acknowledge that her hand was on my elbow, whether or not you want to acknowledge that.
Because Chantel, this whole entire interview, you want us to believe that Jackie is being this monster behind the scenes, but on camera, she's putting on this facade. So why would Jackie then on camera break her facade to now harm you? It doesn't make sense, boo.
I'm upset and I'm angry and I'm just, you can see that I'm spiraling. Never once did she say, you know what, cut the cameras. This is enough. Nothing. You're playing into this too. Never once did you say all bets are off. This is enough. We both could have said that. And neither one of us did. I know my reason for it. Because in my mind, at this big age, I'm finally standing up to this person that I have all of this anger towards. Mm-hmm. I'm not backing down. If that means that this has to be here on this stage in front of all these people, I don't care. Because I know that I'm confronting this problem in my life for once. But for you, who clearly you take this as a game, you could have removed yourself from this situation.
Why? Why can't I make any changes without?
Now you understand she could have removed herself from the situation, but you don't understand all the 10 times that she tried to every other episode. Stop making sense.
Strolling on her phone, waiting for the next showdown. But I'm the problem because
you are.
A lot of us in specifically Black households are raised to believe, or are raised on the belief, do as I say, not as I do. Mm-hmm. Have respect for your parents at all times. It doesn't matter what they say, what they do. I think that there's a new generation of kids and adults that are coming and that are happening that are not going for that anymore.
And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I'm not against that. Again, millennials, we have learned to parent better. Because Gen X and every generation before us, they did suck as parents. They did. But again, Chantel, you were cosplaying and you're trying to make it look like all the issues you went through was a level 10. That's the difference. The shit you went through was level 2, level 3, but you're trying to cosplay it and make it look like it was a level 10. And that's why there's a disconnect.
I need to respect you because you're my parent, but you have got to give me something to respect. Mm-hmm. Why do I have to respect you just because of your title? Mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, husband, I'm not going to accept anybody else's toxic behavior simply because of their title. I'm not doing it. If that means that I'm a messed up person, if that's how y'all want to view me, I'll be okay. The sun will.
Like you're calling it like, because it does not make any sense, Chantel. It does not. Because again, you're throwing out these trendy buzzwords, and it's like, again, and this is where it circles back around to Doug. Because you cannot have all of this smoke and understand, oh, as a millennial, this is how we now think, and da-da-da-da-da. But then you have zero smoke for the person who chose to remarry your mother year after year after year and was complicit to the bullshit that you say was so toxic. Again, listen to the words that people say and how they use them. Because is it toxic or is it poor judgment? Is it a poor decision? Is it abuse or is it just something inappropriate that was said? You're putting 20 on 10 because you want to be seen as a perpetual victim just so attention can be on you.
Rise tomorrow, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna take my kids to school, I'm gonna make my husband, like I'm gonna go on about my life because I know my truth and I know my intentions. If I had came on here with the intent to embarrass her, to out her, to talk down about her, etc., maybe I would feel embarrassed or like, damn, like she really foiled my plans. Everybody's saying, oh, you came on here with the intent to embarrass your mom and you failed. I didn't fail. I freed myself. I didn't fail. This wasn't the goal, but I addressed a dragon in my life and I can walk away from the situation knowing that I handled it the best I could. And until you're in that situation, you cannot tell me how to feel. You really can't.
Well, a lot of us was in that situation and I can tell you how to feel. You're making a mockery. You're putting 20 on 10. You're cosplaying other people's real life stories. Because you want to talk about, oh, I caught my brothers and da 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 da. Why your brother not coming out to speak on you? Why Doug not coming forward to speak on any of this? Then when Takari speaks, it's, oh, Takari, shut up. But yet we want to keep referencing Takari and her story from season 2, but then yet we don't want to believe Takari now. Like, all of it's bullshit. Chantel is bullshit and her apologists are bullshit. Because in one regard, we want to rely on Takari and her story from season 2 to take down Jackie. But when Takari comes out and says, Chantel, you're full of shit and you're using my story and you're cosplaying, now it's, oh, Takari, shut the fuck up. Every child is different. Like, all of y'all are full of shit. And that's why I'm just letting this play out, because I'm about done with this conversation after today.
What people fail to realize, and I shared this with some of the girls off camera, is that when I was 27, I've always had really bad migraines and headaches. I went to the doctor, I got MRIs and all these scans.
Here she go, because I did see this. Pay attention to what Chantel is about to do. Pay attention to what Chantel is about to do. Pay attention. Everything I've been saying all episode long, this whole entire video, pay attention. Watch how Chantel is about to twist all of this. Watch. This girl is a sociopath. Watch how she is about to switch it to get the attention and the sympathy on her and make it look like the level 2 drama she went through is level 20. Watch.
And the neurologist came back with, you have an aneurysm on the right side of your brain. This is, when I was 27, I've always had really bad migraines and headaches. I went to the doctor, I got MRIs and all these scans, and the neurologist came back with, you have an aneurysm on the right side of your brain. This is something that obviously my parents are aware of. I've told all of my close loved ones, like, if something ever happens to me, like, it could be that. You just never know. Like, so for me, one, we know that I've tried for the last 5 years to live a very stress-free life. That's why I was out the way. That's why I wasn't in nobody's blogs. That's why I wasn't.
Pay attention to what people say. I've tried to live a very stress-free life, but yet I go, okay. Oh my God. Because the same way Chantel felt gaslit by Jackie, this is how a lot of us feel listening to Chantel. I feel gaslit. I feel like you are trying to spoon feed us delusion and make us buy into this reality that you've created. You were so stressed. You tried to live a stress-free life. So being that you did not want stress, the person who you say was a dragon in your life and so toxic, you decided to then go and not only live in her apartment building, a floor beneath her, but you then said, let me add on more stress by signing up for her job and becoming her coworker. And as if that stress wasn't enough, you then go on to provoke and egg her on every single fucking episode, including you following her around the hotel, trying to get her to react, down to where you pushed her. Just keep all of that in mind, y'all.
I was just out the way living a very peaceful life. You brought me here. You stressed me to the point of disbelief, and then you aim for my head. Yeah, I'm not gonna wear what they're putting on me. I'm not gonna do that, Carlos. I'm not. If that means that they feel like I'm not taking accountability or whatever, that's okay with me. I take accountability for where I went wrong. Maybe I never should have gone up to the room when she asked for the conversation. Undoubtedly, I should have.
Do y'all see what she just did right there? Let me go ahead and back it up one more time, just so y'all can hear it. I want you to hear what she just did.
This is something that obviously my parents will fail to realize, and I shared this with some of the girls off camera, is that when I was 27, I've always had really bad migraines and headaches. I went to the doctor, I got MRIs and all these scans, and the neurologist came back with, you have an aneurysm on the right side of your brain. This is something that obviously my parents are aware of. I've told all of my close loved ones, like, if something ever happens to me, like, it could be that. You just never know. Like, so for me, one, we know that I've tried for the last 5 years to live a very stress-free life. That's why I was out the way. That's why I wasn't in nobody's blogs. That's why I was just out the way living a very peaceful life. You brought me here. You stressed me to the point of disbelief, and then you aim for my head.
Chantel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wear what they're putting on me. I'm not gonna do that, Carlos. I'm not. If that means that they feel like I'm not taking accountability or whatever, that's okay with me. I take accountability for where I went wrong. Maybe I never should have gone up to the room when she asked for the conversation. Undoubtedly, I should have walked out the door when I was standing at it. I understand that. But nobody can tell me how to handle pain that they have not experienced. It is a different,
I have experienced it, and I can tell you that you're full of shit.
triggering, crazy circumstance to be in when you're in it. It's so easy to sit there, turn on the TV every Monday. Oh, she's so disrespectful to her mom. Oh, how is she acting like this? Why is she acting like this? When you don't know the backstory. When you already have in your mind that this is the fan favorite, that we ride with Jackie, right or wrong. I see all of these comments that say, but that's still.
No, Jackie's the fan favorite, but we don't give a damn that much. And please, like, and this is the reason why I wish everybody who does not watch the show would shut the fuck up. Everybody who's projecting needs to shut the fuck up. Yes, we like Jackie. Yes, Jackie is the face of the show, but that is separate from how we feel about you, Chantel. It's separate. Two things can coexist. Jackie could be the fan favorite of the show, and you could also be taking a level 2 amount of drama and putting 20 on it. And you're putting 20 on 10. You are. And then making a mountain out of a molehill. You are. You are. You're making a mountain out of a molehill and then saying, no, y'all shut up. This is my life and my trauma. And because now what you're insinuating is Jackie knew that I used to get headaches and I had an aneurysm, and she intentionally swung to hit my head. She planned that. That's what she's doing. This bitch is a sociopath.
Your mother. So let her do anything she wants to me. Let her bring up things that she promised she wouldn't. Let her try to get some random guy that I've never even met to bring some tea about me to this show. Let her talk about grandparents' rights when she knows that I'm in the middle of this case. At what point do you say, you know what, enough is enough?
The grandparents' rights is the only thing that I need more information on. That's what she should have focused on. Because the grandparents' rights, that would be the only thing where it's like, okay, what's going on here? Because at the end of the day, when you have a child, the government owns your child until you file for your parental rights, right? And then there is a thing called grandparent rights. So I would need the context, because the way that Chantel is saying it, she's not giving further information. So it sounds way more salacious than it probably could be. It sounds way more salacious than it probably could be. And she knows that, and she's being intentional about that. That's why she's keeping this whole conversation aloof. No, Chantel, dive deeper, because most people, like a lot of people don't know, when you have a kid, like I said, you don't have rights to your kid. The government does, until you go and you file for parental rights. Trust me, I know this personally. Okay? I know this from family experience. You have to go to the courts and file for your rights. But with Chantel not telling the full story, it makes it look like Jackie was trying to do something malicious. And because she has been, I don't know. But we'll never know until Chantel tells the full story.
Now, the difference is everybody is telling me, well, you should have just walked away. Duh. I know that. But this was a very real situation that y'all watched play out. This was not made for TV. This was not something that I did for a check. She did for a check. I don't even think she knew that that was going to happen like that. I think in her mind, she thought maybe she'll just remove herself from this in general. That's what she told the producers at Vegas. I don't even think that she's going to continue with the show, because she knows I don't get down like this. I don't play these games. I'm not at that place in my life. Even if at one point I was messy, even if at one point I came on and talked to Laura, even if at one point I had my drama with Drea, I'm not at that space in my life anymore. So why are you pushing me to this point? And now you light this fire and then you walk away and you leave me standing here holding the matches.
Have you and your mother spoken since that night?
No.
And how long ago did that incident happen?
Probably about 7 months, 6 or 7 months.
You haven't spoken to your mother in 7 months. Mm-hmm. Your mother's birthday was this past weekend. Mm-hmm. Did you reach out? Mm-hmm. Did you reach out?
No.
Has she reached out to you?
No, she has mentioned through way of my brother, when all of this happened, she basically asked him, does she want me to come out and make a statement? And
when the show, after the episode aired?
After the episode aired, she sent word through my brother, does she want me to come out and basically stand up for her? Like, I see that everybody's bullying her and so on and so forth, does she want me to say something? And I said, no. One, if that's not at the top of your mind, you shouldn't have to ask for permission to do that.
Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of bitches who are purposely difficult. And because Chantel, that's exactly the best way to explain it. You are purposely being difficult. You are purposely being difficult because, again, Jackie is not living up to the role that you created for her to live in your reality. Chantel, what she sounds like right now is those bitches who date these niggas, and then you already know who the fucking nigga is when you start dating them. But then when these niggas don't do what y'all want to, then you want to sit and complain, and you want to, well, you don't ever take me here. You don't ever take me here. You don't ever do this. And when a nigga asks you what you want to eat, if you got to ask me what I want to eat, then do you really love me? Do you really care about me? You should know me by now. That's exactly what the fuck Chantel sounds like. That's exactly what the fuck she sounds like. Why I gotta be the one to tell you? You should know me. I'm your child. You should know me. You should know where I want to eat. You should know where to take me. Are you not paying attention to me? Then you don't love me. But you know your mother. Like, come on now. 1 minute is you want your mother to protect you, but then when she tries, then it's, well, you should do that automatically. No, bitch. She's trying to do better. She's trying to show you, hey, I'm trying to respect your boundaries, but every other second the goalpost keeps moving and you keep changing it and then blaming her, Chantel. I don't like this bitch. I don't. This entire interview, she's just done nothing but contradict herself. Now it's Jackie's fault. Jackie reaches out to, she doesn't even try to cut. You say that y'all haven't spoken. You tell her on camera you want nothing to do with her. So she respects that. And then because she's not working hard enough to break through the barrier, now it's still her fault. Tell me Chantel doesn't sound like stupid bitches who date every day. Tell me she doesn't. She sounds like all of y'all bitches that be like, no, this nigga better leave me alone. I'ma block him. Well, the nigga better email me. He better show up to my house with flowers. He better do all of this, that, and the third. But then it's a thin line between doing that and stalking. On one hand, it's cute, but then if you really over a guy and you don't like him, then now it's stalking. Like, y'all got to make up y'all minds. Y'all do. Chantel, you can't tell her I'm done with you. I don't ever want to speak to you again. And then she respects that and then sends a message to your brother who you are closer to and then says, hey, does Chantel want me to speak up for her? Because she's getting a lot of heat. And if I need to speak up for her and take some of that heat off of her, I will do that. And then now you telling us and telling Carlos, no, don't do that because it should already be in your heart to do that. What? Again, Chantel, you don't want healing. You don't want healing. You have zero accountability and you're problematic.
You see that people are wishing death on me and my family, and they're talking about the way my son looks, and they hope that my daughter's dad wins custody and all of this wild stuff. And you see this in real time. And you yourself have been in my shoes. Hated this first several seasons.
She does not see that in real time. She does not see that in real time. She does not. Like, can you, like, oh my God. It's that main character syndrome. I speak about this all the time. It's main character syndrome. You're victimizing yourself. How is Jackie supposed to know all that is happening? Does Jackie have access to your Twitter accounts? Is Jackie sitting there Googling the hashtag Jackie and Chantel? Is she literally going through all of the comments and reading everything? Like, you don't know. Like, why are we assuming that of Jackie? Jackie could do her job and go the fuck home. We don't hear shit about Jackie until it comes time for this goddamn show or a new announcement in Doug's life. We don't ever hear about Jackie. This is you re-victimizing yourself, choosing to be the victim because Jackie's not showing up how you want her to in your reality.
People called you an instigator, messy, all of these things. You've been there. So you know how this feels. And now this is a very real situation with this mother-daughter wound that is literally gaping open.
And I'm going to say this, because if you combine everything that Chantel has said, Chantel assumes a lot. Not once has Chantel said, I've asked Jackie. I've sat and tried to have a conversation with Jackie. I've communicated this to Jackie. No, every situation is Chantel assuming what the other person should be doing. Assuming that this person should know how she just feels. It's always on the other person. It's never on Chantel. Now she's saying, I just assume that my mother is noticing all of this. Not, I communicated to my mother, hey, I'm going through this, but I assume that my mother should already know all of this.
And in your mind, you No, you don't have to speak on my behalf. I can speak on my behalf because even if you did come out and say something, it's not going to be the truth. You're not going to take accountability for what happened. You're not going to.
And this is her assuming. Again, what did I just say? Her assuming. She lacks communication skills. And that's a dangerous motherfucker to be around. Anybody who lacks communication skills are liable to run with whatever narrative. And this is why I have such a problem with the people who have not watched the show or just hear her run with trendy buzzwords and then they run and they create a narrative from that. Because when you don't have all the information, that's when you create a false reality and false narratives and false truths. And then that shit is dangerous. It's dangerous as fuck. It's dangerous as fuck. It's as dangerous as Chantel running to the other girls and saying that Jackie swung on her, and we seeing how the other girls reacted. That shit is dangerous.
Acknowledge that you pushed me to this point.
But no, see, when you have all of the information, then that leaves you with a responsibility to now be accountable because now you have all the information. But if you stay stuck in it, like it's almost like bitches who feel like I don't want to know that my nigga cheating on me. Because once you know that a nigga cheating on you, now you have a responsibility to be accountable for your actions. Are you going to stay or are you going to leave? Because now you know. But no, you willfully be ignorant. Isn't that what she said this entire interview? People who choose to be ignorant willfully, you don't want that responsibility because now you have to act. Now you have to make a decision on how you're going to move. But if you don't have all the information, then you never have to make a decision to do anything. You could just sit there and continue being the victim. This is Chantel's world, and we all just living in it. I hope y'all clocked that by now.
You're not going to say that my anger was justified. Maybe my actions were, but my anger was. You're not going to acknowledge that. You're going to leave me standing out here holding the bag, looking like this terrible, disrespectful, horrible daughter.
Which you are.
And that's okay.
How does your father feel about what happened?
I think that he is trying to.
Here we go. Here we go again. Is she going to say anything that's concrete or is everything I think or this is what I feel? No. How does he feel? How does he feel? I guess we'll never know because she never communicated with him. She never asked. She's just assuming. Again, when you assume, you get to forever be the victim.
Process some very heavy feelings. I think that he is at a point in his life where all of these great things are happening. You know, he has this new opportunity as the head coach. And so any conversations that I have had with him have really just been him keeping me encouraged and telling me that, you know, I know your heart. Like, I know that you're not this person that people are making you out to be. I know that this was a long time coming. When I talked to him after the
Doug is a fucking pushover. He's a fucking pushover. And that's what she wants Jackie to be. She wants Jackie to be a pushover.
Why thing happened? I said, Dad, you know our dynamic. You know that this is not, I didn't get on here with the intent to do this. And so I think that having his understanding and knowing that he knows our history is very reassuring. And I think that what people get misconstrued, and I've seen all sorts of sick comments like I'm such and such from Eve's Bayou and I want my dad and all of this and that. What they fail to realize is that he has been my protector in times that I needed one. He has been that source of relief. When things in the house are too heavy or whatever, he will remove me from the situation before I get to the point of disrespecting her. You understand what I'm saying? So I look to him. Anything that comes to her, I'm going to my dad about it, period. Because you know what it is that I'm dealing with. And I feel like if nobody else can get you together, Doug Christie.
I now get it. Every time you would bring up Doug.
When I watch myself say that, I'm like, girl, now you know that you didn't have to take it to him. You did not have to take it that far. That's just not, that is one regret that I do have out of the entire season. That is the one thing that I regret because I didn't have to say that. I could have kept it right where it was at. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I'm spiraling. Like at this point now, I'm just.
Yeah. You wanted to hurt her, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you heard from Shawnee O'Neal since the incident happened or the episode have you heard?
We talked briefly right after the incident happened. Just I think like because it was such a big deal that it was like now the higher ups step in and like, you know, say something, communicate. But we haven't really talked since then. I've talked to all of the different castmates at different times and points. I haven't talked to anybody really since the fight aired, with the exception of Jennifer and Brittany and Denise.
They all reach out to you to check in on you.
Yeah. And what people don't understand about Brittany and Denise, and I just want to put this on wax, right? Because I know everybody has
The big three girl.
They got their think pieces and things.
Brittany,
that they say,
I love
right?
you. Denise, I'm just getting to know you. But I love you eventually. But I love Brittany. I think Brittany's hilarious. But
Brittany is a really good
but the big three baby.
Here's what I want people to understand, right? Me, Brittany, and Denise formed real friendships and relationships outside of this show. While we were
No, y'all didn't. Y'all formed a trauma bond. And Brittany is only cool with Denise because Brittany was homeless. Hence why every scene with Brittany and Denise, she was always at her house.
we had so much in common. Like, my husband is playing for the Hornets. Brittany's child's father played for the Hornets. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about things in Charlotte. Denise, at the time, her daughter's uncle was my husband's teammate. You get what I'm saying? Like, we had a lot of similarities that are, out of everybody on this cast, we three can relate the most because we have a husband or a child's father or whatever that are actively in the league right now. We can relate to each other better than anybody else. And then you throw the fact that we're all around the same age. We have kids around the same age. There were so many similarities that you just could not ignore. So we're building these relationships outside of the show, just on some cool, like, this is not for TV. This is just keeping in communication. They checked on me consistently and vice versa. Like, there were so many instances where throughout the season, one or all three of us felt like, I just cannot go on. Like, I just can't do this. I'm about to just drop out. And we kept each other encouraged. We kept speaking life over each other. And so I get that people feel like, well, you just met her and you did. Have you ever heard?
Listen to what people say. There were so many points where one or all three of us felt like we could not go on and continue on this show. The show that all three of them signed up for, but they cannot go on because it's the worst thing that ever happened in life. Again, putting 20 on 10.
The saying, you could meet somebody, you could know somebody for 5 minutes that does you better than somebody you've known your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that people are saying we're trauma bonding. No, this is just somebody that relates.
I felt that way. I'm gonna tell you honestly how I felt. Again, this is me watching the show.
Yeah.
I did feel like Brittany and you were trauma bonding based on your mother experience. And I felt like Brittany was dumping so much of her pain onto you. Mm-hmm. And again, this is way before, obviously, we talked today and I get way more. So I regret saying that. Mm-hmm. But at the time, I also believe that it was trauma bonding because I just felt like that's between mother and daughter. Don't step into it. And look, even today, I do feel this way. I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. I'm not filming with you guys. I have no idea what's going on. I will always feel like at the
And I get it. People can only go off of what they see on the show, right? But somewhere along the way, we've gotten so far off path from the real meat and bones of the situation to just the death threats and all of the things that people are saying. It's like, how do you get that from this? Like, you're telling me how to handle somebody that has been in my life for 32 years, and you don't know anything about me. You don't know what led to this point. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's very hard to digest. And I think that
either you mad at Jackie about what happened on the show, or you mad about what happened in real life. You're conflating the two again.
Even on the subject of Evelyn, they're like, oh, you all of Evelyn's ass. You want to be her friend so bad. Look what she did to your mom. If you watch this show, on one of the opening scenes, it was Jackie and Evelyn. They was out baby shopping. And Jackie said out of her own mouth, I want you to get to know my daughter. I want you to get to know Shani. She's in town.
But you weren't there for that. That's something you watched in real time. You weren't there for that when you came on camera. You had no idea where your mother and her was at when you came on camera.
But now I'm wrong because I talked to the lady and gave her a conversation. Like, I just don't. People are picking and choosing what they see. Mm-hmm. And I get it that that's reality TV and whatever. But somewhere along the way, we've just veered so far off from the real in reality TV. And everybody is so used to come, sit down, have a drink. Let's talk about each other. Da, da, da. I would rather be on TV dealing with the real situation, no matter how traumatic or whatever that may have been.
Let me say this. Okay, because here she go again. No matter how traumatic, it wasn't traumatic. It was an uncomfortable situation. Uncomfortable does not equal traumatic. Traumatic can be uncomfortable, but uncomfortable doesn't automatically equal traumatic. Here's another reason why Chantel's not connecting for me, because you want to say all of this, that, and the third about Jackie, but everything is still surface. It's surface level drama. It's surface level petty shit. It's surface level bullshit. Somebody that's really been abused, there would be stories upon stories. The most abusive thing that you said at all was, oh, Jackie said because Doug wasn't there, come do this, so I'm gonna throw you down the stairs. Girl, what? Even when you got to the point of saying Jackie looked at me when I was 12 and said, I hate you, there was no emotion there. There was zero emotion there. And for somebody that's actually been psychologically fucking abused, yes, everybody's different, and yes, everybody reacts differently, but trauma is trauma and grief is grief. And like Chantel said, she's not an actress. So for something that hits that deep, especially for somebody who has not healed yet, that would have been a trigger point. And nowhere during this interview was there a trigger point for Chantel to break down. Not saying that she got to be up here crying, but like expound a little bit. And that's also why Carlos is a shitty ass host and an interviewer, because push back on some of this shit. You saying she abused you? How? Go deeper. How did that make you feel? Everything Chantel is saying is very surface. It's almost like she's giving me an overview of a story that she read in Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul. That's what it's given. Chantel's whole arc and storyline with Jackie is given something that she read in Chicken Noodle Soup for the Teenage Soul. I promise you that's what it's given. It's almost like she did a review on a story from that book, and now she's giving us the overview. She's giving us a recap. I don't care who you are. If you are unhealed and you really went through such triggering thoughts, you would have a moment where you break, where you would dive deeper. That would have been the moment. As soon as she said Jackie said that she hate her at 12, if it really affected you like that, you would have really dived deep and been like, you don't understand what that did to me. Like the way that I grew up, it affected my relationships. It affected my friendships. Like for the longest time, I looked in the mirror. I hated myself because like I just had this thought of feeling like, damn, my mother's who I'm supposed to look up to. Like I thought we was gonna be best friends, but then I have my mother, my own parents telling me she hates me. Like she would have expounded upon it. She didn't. Even now, I'm walking away not knowing shit else that I didn't already know before this. But again, a lot of people gonna eat this shit up. They're gonna be like, she finally told her story. And yes, Jackie, you are wrong. This bitch ain't said shit. She ain't said shit at all. Like, girl, ChatGPT could have summarized all of this better than you. This ain't nothing but a goddamn overview.
Me and my mom, I would rather that any day over me sitting here arguing with random castmates that I just met about a bag or a man or this was a real situation. And you may not like the way that I handled it, but this is my real life. And that's what we'll live on.
Ming Lee has since released a statement apologizing to Jackie, saying she watched the footage as a mother with a daughter. She regrets stepping in and she regrets it. She also has said since then that a lot of her castmates have unfollowed her since she released that statement. Have you heard from Ming?
Here's what I'll say about Ming. I was one of the castmates that unfollowed her after her statement was released. Ming and I, from day one, from the Friendsgiving event, we had a really cool connection. Like I knew of her before Basketball Wives, from the Snob Life brand and everything else. And so meeting her in person, someone that was so seemingly like larger than life and you don't really know what to expect, seeing that she was so cool and she was such a girl's girl. And I'm just like, wow, like I really like her. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. From that moment forward, I felt like maybe we weren't close as, Brittany and I have gotten or whatever, but we were really cool. Like she would text me, she would check in on me. I'm texting her back. Like she's calling me her partner in crime, my PIC. We were locked in from my standpoint. Leading up to the fight, her opinions were her own. You're seeing Jackie get up and walk away. You're saying out of your own mouth that that's wrong. You would never do that to your daughter, etc. So to now get to this point where the whole world is on fire and everybody's talking about this, and this is such a trending topic. And based on one incident, you feel like you owe her this apology, which is fair. I get it. Like I understand I didn't best explain the way that this fight happened. And so you thought something else happened and you judged Jackie off of it. I can understand that. But I feel like what made me unfollow her or what made me feel some sort of way about her is like the other commentary in the statement. Like as a mother, I can understand. And if I was, but as a daughter, you should also be able to understand because you yourself have said you and Vicky have problems. You yourself have said you understand the mother wound. You yourself have said the things that she did to me during the season on and off camera were wrong. So if you want to apologize to her based on judging her, or whatever your commentary was after the fight scene, I understand and I respect that. I'm never going to take that away from you. And I'm not trying to get anybody on my side. But all of these opinions from all of these castmates were their own. The only person you ever saw me say, essentially pick a side to on camera was Jennifer. When she said, how can I assist you? How can I whatever? And I said, well, you can start by holding her accountable. And if she's not going to be accountable, then you can tell her, I just don't for real want to be around you because that's the type of person I am. I'm not fraternizing with bad mothers or disrespectful people or you get what I'm saying? I don't play like that. I don't want you in my space. If that's what you want and that's what you'll do to your own kid, there's no hope for me. So that's what I meant when I said that to Jennifer. I didn't come in Jackie's friend group. Mind you, Brittany is new, fairly new. Denise is definitely new. Ty is new. Ming is new. This is not Jackie's friend group. Jennifer, Brandy, and Evelyn is Jackie's friend group. Okay, cool. But y'all are acting like there's not this new group of people who have formed their own opinions based off of these interactions that they're witnessing on a day-to-day basis. They were there in Vegas, in the house when the cameras weren't rolling. They heard the stuff she was saying. So to now get to this space where I feel like some of you are like, oh, how do I, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to, I'm not looking for a politically correct answer. Was it right or was it wrong? What you witnessed, was it right or was it wrong? If you are not basing anything else, not a childhood, not a nothing off of what you experienced over the course of this season, was it right or was it wrong?
Do you think she did that for the audience, released the statement?
I don't know, because I never took Ming really for real as like that type of person. So I was shocked. I just quietly unfollowed and just went on about my day. Because if that's how you feel, I respect it. I'm not going to press you about it. It is what it is. And I just thought that we were better than that. But You just never know.
My hope is this for you and your mother. I obviously, and I said this before, and I know your mom, and I want you to know. I text your mother the night I saw it, and my exact words to your mom was, "I love you. I'm praying for y'all. This too shall pass." Because I want you to even up from my spirit, and I want to say this to you. I love you. I'm praying for you, and this too shall pass. I want to say that to your face as well, because I know that for me, and our situation is vastly different.
Right.
I know for me, I had to.
Nobody asked about you.
Have the tools to deal with that, and I just. But I also understand. I also understand this. I am very proud of your generation who are now standing up for themselves, saying, "Just because y'all did that way,
we ain't got to do it that
doesn't
way.
mean I have to subscribe to that." But I do think there's a way for your generation to do things a different way, where the underlying thing is still respect. And that's why I said on my own show, y'all both wrong. I said that, right?
Both. I'm sorry. Like, and I hate that people act like shit is black and white. No, every situation is not black and white. Sometimes there's gray in the middle. Yes, there are absolutely. I'm a fucking healer, y'all. I get on here, I do my commentary, I talk my shit, yes. But then I also sit down with people in their personal traumas and help them heal. And there are times when I have to tell people, hey, you're going to have to go no contact with your family or friends or whoever. Like, and these people shouldn't be in your life. I've been screaming from the rooftop since forever. The Braxtons, they don't need to be together, especially Tamar with her family. She does not need to be around them at all, but they're always going to be around each other because of the codependency and because of programming. Oh, blood is sticking in water. But is that everybody's situation? No. And that's the disconnect, because nobody's actually healing. Y'all are learning shit from social media, and then instead of doing the actual healing and figure out what's what and unpacking the trauma, everybody's just jumping to, oh, this is automatically my situation. Everybody's self-diagnosing without doing the fucking work or without seeking an actual professional in that field, whether they are licensed or not. Okay, because we keep bringing up therapy, but therapy, it works for who it works for, but then sometimes you need a little bit more. You do need an astrologer. You do need a psychic. Okay? Because you do need somebody to get to the root of the issue. You do need somebody like an astrologer to tell you, hey, these issues are going to come up at these different points of your life. This is just going to be a year where your relationships are going to be funky. Like, that's why I'm glad I do everything in one, right? Because I can do the therapy thing where I can talk to you about your emotions and your feelings. But I can also dive deeper spiritually. I'm psychic. I get downloads. I get intuitive messages from God, from spirit. I help you deal with the generational trauma, the generational part of the healing. Something that a therapist isn't necessarily able to do, not a traditional one, right? So all of that is great. But again, in 2025, especially with the rise of TikTok and social media, we have all of these newfound things that people are doing. And because nobody's doing the actual work or seeking out professionals in certain fields to help them heal, everybody's just self-diagnosing. And and it's not the right solution for everybody. Everybody's not meant to be no contact. Everybody's not the black sheep. Everybody's not getting abused. Sometimes it's just a situation of you're entitled, you're a brat, or you just didn't like being told no. So now you want to make it seem like this person was a monster. And really, it's like, was this person a monster, or were they genuinely just trying to protect you? Because there's a difference between having an overbearing mother who tried to protect you and maybe didn't show up in all the ways that you wanted her to, versus somebody who was literally putting your life in danger, who literally made you feel as though you never should have been born. There's a complete difference. And that's what Chantel's not getting. And that's what the people who keep apologizing for Chantel are not getting as well. Just because Chantel is throwing out all of these buzzwords doesn't mean that she's done the work. Doesn't mean that her self-diagnosis is correct or accurate. Come on now. It's like when you going through something and you can feel like, damn, my titty's itching, and go to Google and do a self-diagnosis and then feel like, oh, you got breast cancer. At what point you going to go to the doctor to make sure that's accurate or not? You just going to go all throughout life telling everybody you got breast cancer. You see how fucked up and how ignorant that would be in that situation, right? It's the same exact shit when it comes to Chantel and it's quote unquote abuse that she went through. But when you throw out trendy buzzwords, when you say, oh, my mother hated me, or oh, I just went through abuse, or oh, my mother was toxic, and nobody's pushing back and nobody's asking what actually happened, because you're keeping it surface, because these trendy buzzwords are such buzzwordy enough that people are just going to focus on the words and not the deeper story and ask what actually happened, you get away with murder. And that's exactly what Chantel has done.
But I appreciate you so much for having the ability within a week to reach out to me and say, let's talk, because
this where he started kissing ass. I'm done. I've been here almost 3 hours. I ain't got shit else to talk about. Okay, so if you don't want to end up like Chantel, bitch, take your ass over to the thealignmedsouls.com. Like I said, I give commentary, but I also come from a deeper perspective, because therapy is great, but not everybody can afford therapy, and therapy is not going to get you to the root of the problem. It's not going to deal with the generational trauma and the generational curses and figure out deeply what's going on. Let's say that you are Chantel. You're in a position like Chantel. Hell, let's say if I was talking to Chantel herself, I would dig deep into her trauma, figure out why she is the way that she is, where she's going, what's the karma for her life, because we all have karma, we all have our trauma, but we also all have our karma that we incarnated from last life into this life. And then I would dive deep into Jackie, figure out what's going on with that relationship. Is it solvable? Is it something that can be fixed? Or is it a situation where it just needs to be dealt with? Go to thealignmedsouls.com thealignmedsouls.com and book your full alignment reading, because a lot of y'all will get into my comments and be like, oh, I got these same issues, or oh, Scott, that was spot on, and then continue on about your life and do nothing about it. You're just as helpless as Chantel. Don't ghost your own healing. Don't be Chantel at 32 years old, mad at the fucking world, and then get on TV looking like a goddamn ass because nobody's understanding you, because you haven't done the inner work. Because everybody wants that outer paycheck, but nobody's willing to do the inner work for it. Change your life. Okay? thealignmedsouls.com. I went through it. Chantel's going through it. Okay? 27. I separated from my family. Went no contact. Full time. For years. For several years. Okay? And I also know what it's like to have to go back, even after you call yourself healing and all of that, and then go back into an abusive fucking environment. And then now it's like, damn, here I am as my new self, my new healed self, and yet you're still taking me back to being that abused little kid. I know what it's like. But Chantel is not that. Chantel put 20 on 10. But don't end up like her, to where you're walking around upset and mad at everybody else in the fucking world. Do not ghost your own healing. You want blessings, you want all of these things to come in for your life, but it's not going to until you decide to heal all of the trauma that it is that you've gone through. That's just the way that it works. You want the outer paycheck, you have to do the inner work. It starts with you, because at the end of the day, you can take your ass to therapy, you can take your ass to an astrologer. Hell, you can bring your ass to me, and you can rant about all of the shit that has happened to you, but at the end of the day, it still comes back to you. Because while Chantel feeling this way, Jackie is out there continuing her life. So what now? If you enjoyed this commentary, don't worry, baby. There's much more where that came from. Patreon.com/Santana, where you can go back and catch up on all of the watch-alongs that I did for Basketball Wives, as well as all of our other favorite shows, Real Housewives, Baddies, whatever. We watch it all together over on Patreon.com/Santana. Go catch up.
I'm gonna go out here and do the same thing I just did out there.
You want me to do it again? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Listen, I already got the clips. Okay, we already got episode 11. I mean, you could do it again if you want to. Okay, but listen, we already got the ratings up.
You want to go to bed?
We go to bed now. They're running back.
I like it.
We go to bed. You know, I'm gonna just call a house meeting tomorrow anyway. So, like, I mean, listen.
They're running back tomorrow.
Continued on next week's episode.
And what did I just say? Natalie cared about one thing: her money.
Let's really go for it. It's baddies, guys. It's baddies.
Oh, he is so fine. Stop moving the damn camera.
It's baddies, guys. It's baddies.
Oh, he is fine. Ooh, I got me a type.
I definitely feel like certain bitches have gotten more comfortable with us.
I feel like certain bitches is getting comfortable with us. You know, like they jaded. You know, usually she be over there with the other bitches, the other light-skinned bitches, but she was over there playing with us today. Girl, y'all played soccer. I feel like she was more comfortable with us. No, girl, she was on your team and she wanted to win. Relax.
I don't know where I'm gonna go, where my money gonna wind up, but I know that I'm fucking tonight.
Oh, girl, what kind of rapist ass song is this?
I don't even know how the fuck I'm doing in life and shit. I know that I'm fucking tonight.
No, you not. You ain't fucking over. Listen, that's the problem with bitches now. Fucking these bums, these bozos, these degenerate ass niggas. Girl, Absolutely not. You don't know what you're doing in life, but you fucking tonight. Not over here. It must be a picture of me. You must be jacking off to my Instagram. Absolutely not.
I don't know why she here. She's not young and reckless. Bitch ain't young nor reckless. Bitch. Oh, who ain't reckless?
Ferrari, like, who ain't my show title? Show me who ain't, so I can go up to them, and then I can have a reason to say my show title again. Because did y'all know that this is Young and Reckless Season 3 hosted by Ferrari? Because if you didn't know that, then guess what? It's Young and Reckless Season 3 hosted by Ferrari. And you bitches are young and reckless on Season 3 of Young and Reckless hosted by Ferrari.
Day one, all of my girls really showed me a reckless side of them. It doesn't.
There you go. It's almost like she get paid to include the name of the show. And then like every episode, I need my girls to like, I don't know, do something different. Like show me something different. Show me something. What's the word I'm looking for? Reckless. Bitch. Bitch. Ferrari. Please.
I don't want a boyfriend. I don't want a gay friend. I just want a friend who wants to cuddle and love me. I'm so lonely. No, you're not big enough.
Excuse me, she just said she don't want no gay friend. Can you back the fuck up off her? Oh, because she want a lesbian friend? It's the same shit. Same shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's crazy how she throwing up, but she ain't throwing up that wine now. She don't want to binge eat, but she'll binge drink. Both is adding pounds, boo-boo. Ew. You not going to spray? Don't nobody want to smell your throw up ear, let alone your pussy ear.
Keep watching my social media, changing my Wikipedia. This trendy to the top and tedious. I will stop.